Fight Club, now bi-monthly. My name is Lamb and I'm joined by Xenozays. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Just decided to do some commentary for this. I've been trying to get back into Persona a lot lately, and I figured what better way to do that than to commentate it monthly. Well,
Most
bi-monthly.
definitely. Yes, most definitely. And we are going to be starting off this bi-monthly with LeDom versus ZeroStorm. Now, I don't think I have seen these players play, except for, unless LeDom is someone who changed their name. I may have seen them play before, but it seems like they may have changed characters from what I had before seen them play. Looking like Kanji versus either Mitsuru or
Shadow Mitsuru.
yeah, that could be, if that is the case, that could be quite wild.
Yeah, if I was the Kanji, I'm not sure if I'd be looking forward to this matchup very much, but
Oh, definitely.
yeah, there's definitely still a lot that Kanji could get done here. He does have his command grab. He does have his. I've seen a lot more Kanji pressure. I've actually fought a Kanji recently at a local, and he did a lot of stuff that I hadn't really seen before. He just played super solid. So it's not impossible, but it's definitely a little bit hard because Mitsuru has, such large normals and everything. And that 5A just, it feels like it goes half screen sometimes. So
Yeah, it really does. And not only that, but Kanji does like to, it seems counterintuitive, but Kanji does like to kind of control airspace a lot, and it's really hard to control airspace versus a character with normals like JA and JB. Like her normals in the air are just completely ridiculous in certain scenarios, and it is really hard to brawl out versus them. So you have to be a little creative when you're playing Kanji in this kind of matchup.
yeah, for sure. I know that when I play Adachi, we actually kind of have some similar problems with the matchup just in terms of like spacing and everything, because Adachi also likes being in the air, but that JA really just snipes Adachi on pretty much everything. So he definitely has to play a bit more grounded and a bit more patiently against Mitsuru. But Adachi he has more mobility than Kanji, so I'm curious to see how the Dom will kind of adapt to that and hopefully like kind of find a way to mitigate the offensive pressure just horizontally from Mitsuru. Though on the flip side, I would also like to see how ZeroStorm is able to deal with Kanji's pressure if he happens to get into a corner, because that is a very scary situation to be in.
Most definitely, because you have to deal with a lot of different factors, really, when Kanji has you in the corner. Not only does he get to set up lightning on you pretty easily, but he also has so many different ways to just open you up if you're trying to turtle too hard. And I mean, let's be honest, Mitsuru is kind of a character that like kind of thrives on being able to turtle. Being a charge character, you can get a lot of value off of waiting for a good opening and getting a coup off at a random timing. So I think that you have to see how ZeroStorm is going to be able to deal with all that kind of pressure and try and get their way out of these corner situations if they wind up in one of them.
Yeah, I'm especially curious to see how maybe LeDom will try to use like 5D at some ranges to try to contest like Mitsuru's 5D, because or maybe 5D and JD, like a combination of both. Because I imagine that since Mitsuru's 5D is relatively faster, I believe, it'd probably be a bit harder for LeDom to kind of just use that at a far range, and he also has to deal with the threat of coup. But at the same time, if he does get a 5D off, he might get like a lucky shock, or either way, he'll just be in a slightly better position to kind of close the gap. So I wonder if ZeroStorm will be super conscious of that and try to maybe just do more like movement-based neutral, like at far ranges, or if he's going to kind of commit to using coup and his own 5D to kind of make life really hard for LeDom at that range.
Yeah. I also want to see how tackle is used in this matchup, because I think tackle can be one of those things that is really hard to deal with if the Kanji player is good at putting it in timings that maybe you're not necessarily expecting, or timings where you want to be doing something at a full screen distance and you just cannot get it off because tackle comes through and kind of ruins your day. I think that's pretty good idea to use as leverage in a matchup like this, especially when you're probably going to wind up at some really awkward spacings. I want to see how LeDom kind of forces their way in using that move as well.
And kind of speaking of spacings, that's another thing that's kind of interesting in this matchup, because when it comes down to like scrapping at like close quarters, Kanji has like a surprising amount of like ways to kind of deal with that sort of range that you wouldn't really expect from like a grappler. Because like he has his DP obviously, but like he also has like his D grab, and even like his 5A and 5B have good range. So it's just going to be interesting because, you know, a lot of characters, like their strategy is typically to get in on Mitsuru and try to get into that into that close quarters range and just kind of see what they can do, because Mitsuru's normals are a lot slower when it comes to that range. So I wonder if maybe LeDom will kind of take advantage of that and try to force more scramble situations to kind of get an offense started.
Yeah. There's so many different things that Kanji kind of has that you would not expect from like a typical grappler. Like, I think that he's got a lot of nice ways to gap close in weird angles and ways, especially like air tackle and stuff like that. I love watching this character when he is able to actually get his game plan started, but I think that's the biggest challenge with this character, is getting to a point where you can get that game plan started. And of course, talking about Mitsuru, like this character pretty much always has her game plan in some way. You can't be too defensive against her because then she'll have as much pressure as she wants, and even being offensive against her, she can still kind of like find a timing to do something or just DP out and get back on the offensive. And you have to be very careful even playing neutral, because it almost feels like she auto wins a lot of matchups in neutral, so you have to be very careful.
Yeah, and another thing with that too is like LeDom might try to get his offense started, but like he might leave too much of a gap to where like Mitsuru can kind of just SP coop through it, because a lot of Mitsurus will just kind of hold back and build up that charge, so that if there's any kind of point where they can, like in that close quarters range, like contest, they'll use that coop, and it has really strong reward on hit. And even on block, it's not so bad, so it's definitely a potent option that Kanji, just in the matchup, he always has to be looking out for. So that's also kind of interesting.
Yeah, SBQ being 5-frame startup is like, I would say probably Mitsuru's best mash option, period. It doesn't really get better than having a 5-frame that gives you a huge reward, especially on counter hit.
Yeah, and it'll definitely be like kind of difficult to work through as well, because Kanji's close range buttons, while they are pretty good, they're a lot slower than 5 frames on average. So, yeah.
Okay, so we finally have our players into the room, and we should be getting ready to start up the match. ZeroStorm and LeDom. I am very excited to see how these two navigate this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we've just been talking about it for quite a bit, but there are a lot more intricacies in it than you would be initially led to believe if you think of like, oh, mid-range sort of character versus grappler, like, oh, who wins? Like, obviously, like, the mid-range usually seems to have more of an advantage, but I mean, it is Persona and it's Kanji, so there's definitely a lot to bring to the table on both sides.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to see like the full breadth of what this matchup has to offer. Just getting into it.
And we will see if ZeroStorm is playing normal. Okay, so normal Mitsuru. That's a little bit better for Kanji. You're not gonna just get randomly exploded, which is nice.
Yeah. Shadows in this game are quite difficult to fight against, and in a matchup that already on paper doesn't look to be super heavily in your favor, I imagine Kanji would love to rather just fight a regular character. But getting into this game one, see how this goes.
All right, so we're gonna start off, yep, instantly going for the coup, and we're already brawling over airspace again. Talking about that earlier with how hard it is to control airspace versus a character like Mitsuru, and already now in the corner trying to go for a reversal grab, but not quite getting anything going there. Tackle comes through, and unfortunately that persona is broken, so you're not gonna have those good longer range options to deal with. AOA to just try and brawl his way out, and
Yeah,
now we're stuck in this corner.
and you can even see like a lot of what ZeroStorm has been doing has been stopping the air offense from happening. He
Mm-hmm.
did 2D at the start to catch Kanji when he was trying to jump out the corner. And even right now, like Kanji's just trying to get out of here, but it's so hard to leave
Mm-hmm.
once Mitsu has you in her clutches.
But does get the shock off that DP. DP comes back in return though. Bufu and panic setup. This could be
One
a little weird.
touch.
Oh,
DP baited.
that's very
Not
good
the
now.
not the greatest punish, but it's definitely something to get
Mhm.
started. And Mitsuru isn't in the best situation here, actually, because of
Oh,
something like that. And now things are really not looking too great.
yeah, what a great catch there. Oh my God, tries to DP, I think, but not doesn't quite get it. AOA going through and
Uh,
does get themselves out of the corner.
Definitely a little scrambly at the end there, and 18
Mhm.
seconds on the clock left. That was kind of a slower pace match, but getting into game two, hopefully we'll see some adaptations starting to be
Mhm.
made on both sides.
Ooh, goes for the dash cancel. No biting there from LeDom. Going to get thrown here into the corner. Goes for the grab, but not at the correct spacing. ZeroStorm being very patient, knowing that that could be an option here. Going to get a whole bunch of damage here into a really nice setup with the Bufu. The double overhead, but the burst going to be used here from LeDom.
Ooh, and that persona displacement there just to catch Mitsu, it's really helpful for Kanji to just kind of put his persona out there, just because it makes like a threat at long range that Kanji doesn't normally have.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Ladon kind of
Uh,
on the back foot here. Oh,
that
well,
is
he gets
a
out.
bit of an unfortunate side switch, but ZeroStorm is going to recover that with an AOA into the mash, of course, and ZeroStorm will clean up the first game. A little scary at
Yeah.
some points, but I think generally speaking, they played to their win condition pretty well.
Yeah, you can see that Zero Storm, just the key to that was just stopping Kanji from getting much started at long range and stopping Kanji from getting out of the corner through the air.
Yep.
So a lot of JA, a lot of 2D, just a lot of buttons to prevent Kanji from really moving anywhere.
Hmm.
And through that, like Zero Storm was just able to get LeDom into the corner and just make it really difficult for LeDom to find any sort of leverage in that matchup at all.
Yep.
But going into game two, I imagine that LeDom will be a little bit more conscious of just like Zero Storm's like insistence on keeping him out of the air.
Hmm.
And maybe try to find a bit more of a grounded approach when it comes to just stopping Mitsuru from just running her mid-range sort of pressure. Maybe a couple more 2Bs or maybe even some random tackles or something like that.
Hmm.
We'll see exactly what LeDom does to kind of close that gap, but I imagine that that's something that he'll have to be conscious of if he wants to take the second game.
Yep. That's probably the hardest part about playing a matchup like this is closing the gap and not allowing this character to just have free reign of anything and everything in the air.
Yeah. Game two, Zero Storm already on a solid start, but ooh,
Ooh.
that D-Grab, that's what I was
Hmm.
talking about. That close quarters, Kanji does have a lot of ways to make it a lot more difficult for Mitsu than you would originally think, but Zero Storm getting the confirm anyway.
Goes for a really nice challenge. DP is going to be used in response, and now LeDom going on the offense. The hop, though, is really good here. Now ZeroStorm trying to fight his way out and gets the JB carrying to the corner. And now Kanji's going to have to try and brawl his way out, but of course, that's obviously always an option that you have to watch for.
Yeah, that 5C just charged, it really does a lot to just make a wall for Kanji that makes it so hard for him to get out the corner.
Hmm.
See here, a bit of neutral. Both are in Awakening. A lot of time on the clock, so imagine. Oh, so close to finishing it off, but
Oh, there we
DP
go.
into
Yeah,
super, the classic.
very nice.
All right, game two. We saw a bit more like adaptation from LeDom. He was getting a lot more like he was getting his JBs a bit more often. And just he was getting more neutral openings in general. So hopefully
Yep.
he can kind of continue that into this game. But ZeroStorm is still doing a great job of keeping LeDom from just leaving the corner. Just walling him out. But now he's in the corner,
Oh,
so
used the roll, but not quite ready enough for it. Does get a small punish, but really nothing huge. Could have gotten a lot more there, obviously. Does get a knockdown here, though, and gonna try and press this advantage. Unfortunately, you're at a really bad range to play versus Mitsuru, even after getting that nice DP again. Putting shock on, but the coup
you
gonna
can
be
see
enough.
that DP kind of doing a lot for LeDom in giving him more opportunities to leave the corner. Oh, that hit.
Ooh,
Ooh,
okay.
that would have been a lot worse if he had his persona. That might have
Uh-huh.
killed actually if he had his persona, but he was unfortunately persona
Ooh.
broken. So he's still able to do that super without his persona, but it's just not as strong. Either way, though, I guess the second round.
I think that a lot of that second round came down to conditioning because you could see a lot of DP coming out from LeDom, but then finally when ZeroStorm's like, all right, I'm just going to block the DP, then comes the D grab, and you can't block that, obviously. So very smart play there from LeDom trying to get those situations into his favor on defense. That's the best thing he's got going for him so far.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Here.
stuck in the corner. No, the overhead. Oh, the DP finally gets baited, but burst. Used.
One chance? Okay. The back's playing neutral. Kanji's somewhat close to awakening, but I think okay, this will probably put him in awakening.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
tries to go for the AoE to armor through a possibility, but no, not quite. Down we go. That should be plenty of damage. Oh, not quite. Just
One
barely
chance.
not enough. Oh, the DP through the AoE. Nice check. Waiting for a possible mash there. Looking for the DP because they know LeDom has been liking to go to that option. And it winds up working out for them. 2-0 for ZeroStorm.
Taking
Well
it
played.
over LeDom.
Well
Yeah,
played
we
in that
saw
first
there. We saw there just a lot of like at the end there what we were talking about earlier in that like even like with like the shock, SB Coop just does so much for Mitsu in this matchup because she was able to close like the gap regardless of being shocked, and then from there could do like the AoE and the DP and everything to take that round. So that's definitely a huge strength that Mitsu has in just any matchup in particular, but definitely in the Kanji matchup because shock is such an important status. So it was interesting to kind of see that come to fruition at the end there.
And one of the scariest things about her coup is like if she does a coup, she can still be charging an SB coup, and it's like at worst -4 on block, and Kanji doesn't really have a lot of stuff that could contest with a 5-framer after a -4 situation, and that's at worst. At best, it's neutral, and so then you really have to guess whether or not she's going to do something, and even if you guess right, she's still only -4 again in your face, which is not the best situation to be in, because there's so many things that she can do there that you don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah, and one of Kanji's better options there, like just trying to DP out of it. Like if it gets baited, then Mitsu can punish with like charge 5B or literally anything, and it would just be a ton of damage. So it's really risky to go for, and it's a very advantageous situation for Mitsu to be in, despite the fact that it's not actually plus. So yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, there's so many things you have to be careful of when you're in a matchup like that, and it's just such an uphill battle playing a character like Kanji versus a character that can do all of those different things. So it seems like our next match is going to be Bonch versus Mike Ackworth, and my boy Bonch has returned. He's been gone for so long. I'm so glad to see him back. I love watching Bonch play this video game.
Yeah, I know you're super excited to see Bonch on the big screen, but I haven't really seen a lot of Bonch because he's a little bit after my time when I was like super active. But I have heard that he has a particularly nasty Narukami.
Yeah, his style is very interesting because he has really good pressure and his fundamentals are quite good, I would say. But he's also not afraid to just do the most random gamble in the world on paper, but it just like makes so much sense in the moment. Oh, it seems like
Well.
something happened there. Hold on. Might be Bonch's classic controller issue.
Oh, well, we're kind of figuring that out. I guess we could talk a bit about the matchup. So it's going to be Koro and Ken versus Narukami. And, you know, Koromaru's a very strong character. You know, Ken's over there too.
Yeah.
But Narukami's real strength in neutral is going to be a little bit difficult for Ken to kind of play around with. But at the same time, 2C does exist. So.
Yeah. And it's like, if Narukami winds up outside of that range that he likes to play at, around the same range that Mitsuku likes to play at, maybe slightly larger, if he gets outside of that range, Koromaru and 236A B from Ken are just really annoying to deal with if you can't find an opportunity to jump. And like we said, 2C is there to snipe jumps, so you're kind of forced in some situations to just wait and see if you have an opportunity to jump, and those situations feel so awful at that range.
Yeah, and I know something that is really helpful against Ken and Koromaru is just using IB, especially in like the 236A pressure. So I'm wondering if Bonch both knows about it and is able to do it in this matchup. I imagine that if he can, he'll find himself in a lot more neutral situations rather than like being pressured by just Ken across the screen doing 236A.
Yeah.
So I think that if he's able to kind of like get past that move, he'll have a lot easier time in neutral and both dealing with 2C and just dealing with like all of Ken's other great buttons, like JB, for example. Amazing button. So we'll see what Bass do. And also, I don't know if you've noticed, this is Shadow Ken.
Yeah, Shadow Ken makes it even more annoying to play versus. Okay, Bonch is here, and he is ready to play finally, but already off to a little bit of a rough start here. Mike Ackworth already on the offense. Now you gotta block for a while.
Yeah, and kind of on the flip side, yeah, that was an amazing confirm. Kind of on the flip side, I'm curious to see how Mike will kind of deal with Narukami's pressure, because it's very, it's rather simple, but it's still very strong, because he has just such great buttons, he has a command grab, just every tool you really need on offense in this game, so curious to see how he's going to deal with that.
I would definitely say it's deceptively simple, because stuff like this, you're like, oh, you know that shit's coming, and you're still getting hit with it. You know, like, you're not ready for that half the time.
Yeah, and we see that Mike just wasn't ready for it this first round, but maybe the second round could kind of turn it around. That's a good start here.
Very good start here, getting in a little bit of damage. Going for the mix-up, nice and low, empty low off after the jump with Koromaru coverage. Again, that JB, like we were talking about. So much space control.
Right, Bonch getting his first hit here, but it's already in Awakening, but this actually isn't too bad for Narukami here, especially if he gets openings like that.
So far,
he's using...
Playing with his win condition kills the dog. That's huge.
That is huge. But something to note there is that Bonch actually used air turn JC there to extend the range of the JC so that he could hit Ken. So something interesting. I hope he uses it more.
You can see Bonch so far really trying to check the dog, like very much so not wanting Koromaru on the screen. Obviously that makes a lot of sense, but you don't see a lot of people like try as hard as I am seeing him usually to kill the dog.
Which makes a lot of sense in this matchup because Narukami does have a lot of big sweeping buttons, so he does have a lot more options to take care of Koromaru than a lot of other characters do. But we can see here that Mike is he's doing a lot to kind of de-incentivize that sort of thing. The DP here will de-incentivize any sort of offense from there.
Oh, nice roll through, but first use. Bonch now has the offense in the corner, but another great defensive choice from Mike Ackworth, getting out of that situation completely. Here we go, confirm now for Bonch, going to get that set up, and goes for the safe jump, not respected enough. Now you gotta watch out though. There could be a burst here, there could be a DP. Will there be a bait here? Oh, tries to go for the back.
Using 2C and roll to get out. Very potent option for Ken. And right now, this is kind of... Oh, ooh. Well, Mercy's there, but I was going to say that was kind of not the greatest situation for either player, because Ken could get one touch and then use burst to just clean up that round, but we see here that Bonch was able to take the first game. Very cognizant of the Koromaru, but it kind of worked out to his advantage there. He's able to get that sweep to end it.
Yeah, that sweep call out was actually pretty nasty. Knows that, you know, Mike doesn't really want to stay at this like weird range where fireballs are going to be good. Tries to get the 2C from Koromaru into a run up and just gets completely called out for it. So really, really nice opportunity there for Bonch to close out that first game, and we will see if he can continue that momentum into the second game. Mike
but having to use that burst there, not ideal, but...
Nice one more cancel there from Bonch. Gonna spend it. I really like the option he used there in the corner to go for the empty low instead of going for the safe jump. It completely caught me.
You can see here too, not the greatest ambition for myself, because we're seeing that just doesn't have the burst, and really want to go with it. But he kind of plays like
even if he starts so this is
there will make it even rougher.
Oh my god, drops.
That combo definitely could have done a lot of damage,
and yeah, Bonch will seal that game up really quickly. 2-0 for Mike Ackworth. It seemed like Mike Ackworth had some really nice stuff going on. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go further in the loser side of the bracket, but Bonch showing again why he's just like so fundamentally good, I think, at this character. Has a lot of just general knowledge that I think really works in his favor.
Yeah, one thing that I was super impressed by Bonch by was just his conversion ability. He was really able to make the most of his hits. He was getting like a lot of counter hit 5Cs, and he would convert them into a knockdown pretty much every time. And even from like mid-level Narikami players, like you'll typically see them like just every so often just kind of mess up like a relatively simpler combo, or just mess up like a knockdown or something. So it was really cool to see Bonch like making the most of his neutral wins and getting them into a knockdown so that he could start all of his just amazing pressure. He was really able to make the most of all of his opportunities.
And the only time you really saw him flub anything was when he went for the one more burst combo. And I mean, like, in my opinion, those are, like, understandable. Especially because you only get those every once in a while where you're actually trying to go for, you know, an optimal damage kill confirm with one more burst. Like, you usually don't want to use your burst like that in the middle of a game unless you're sure it's going to kill. And so it's totally understandable that, like, you get that one opportunity to do it in, like, what, 5 games maybe, and you sometimes drop it. So I don't blame him for dropping that one. I think everything else he did so cleanly, and even on the drop he still got like 4k damage I think off of it, so it wasn't even that bad.
Narikami's damage is highly impressive even without spending too many resources, so the drop there was relatively fine. I think Mike, he had a lot of things going for him in that matchup. I feel like just on the knockdown, sometimes he was like a bit too like DP happy, which might sound a little rich coming from me, but you know, like kind of maybe using that a little too much. Maybe you should make that a not a macro or something. I don't know. But either way, he was still able to control the neutral pretty well. It was just like sometimes like in some of like the more scrambly parts, he was kind of just getting beat out by Narukami's much faster buttons. I feel like that ultimately is probably what cost him the most in that set. But yeah.
I could say that even if it's not a macro, I'm one of those people who will probably mash that way more often than I should. And so I think you probably just have to unbind the B and D buttons at that point to not mash DP in situations like that.
Yeah, I'm talking a lot, but even when there was a point where I did the unmacro thing as well, and I still mashed DP a lot for quite a while, so...
I think the only reason I stopped mashing DP so much when I was playing is because playing Margaret, trying to DP, feels like the worst option that you could ever go for at any specific point, except for maybe when they are never jumping, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because like I'm also starting to learn Margaret too, so I'm finding myself doing even less DPs nowadays because of that exact thing. Don't really want to be using DP a lot there.
It feels so bad. But it seems like our next match should be Toadle versus ChaosCrush, if I'm reading that correctly. That was what popped up on our screen there for a second. And it is what is on the stream as well. So yes, it seems like this will be our next matchup. And we've got another Mitsuru, but this time versus Minazuki.
Or was that show? I think that was Minazuki.
It's Minazuki, yeah.
Okay. And
I personally, back when I played 1.1, I did not like seeing Minazuki very often. But for some reason, it feels like in 2.0, this character is just extremely rare. I see this character like maybe once every 3 or 4 brackets. And so watching this character, especially when someone is actually good at understanding the character, is also, I would say, nearly as interesting to me as watching Narukami, because I enjoy watching good Narukami play, and in 2.0 I also found myself enjoying watching good Minazuki play, even though, yeah, you can go for the goofy stuff, like just teleporting all over the place, but when you're good at this character, it feels interesting to watch.
Yeah, well, I'll say that in 1.1, I actually played a lot of Minazuki. He was like, he was pretty much a secondary for me. And yeah, I was a lot more of like the sort of like monkey gorilla Minazuki who just spammed 4A and just did a bunch of basic combos. But in 2.5, I've seen a lot of people, when they do use Minazuki, it's a lot more like a secondary character, not necessarily something that they would try to main Minazuki with. So it's interesting to see how Minazuki main is kind of able to push the character a little bit more than the slew of secondaries that you kind of see nowadays. And I'm wondering too, like what sort of innovations that Minazuki's have made since 1.1 in the Mitsuru matchup. Because Minazuki's changed a lot as a character from 1.1 to 2.5.
I find Minazuki so interesting because to me, especially in this the newer version in 2.5, I find him to be like the flip side of the Narukami coin, where Narukami likes to play the mid-range game and be, you know, maybe slightly more defensive. Minazuki likes to play some of the mid-range game, but he likes to be more offensive when he can get those specific scenarios to work.
Yeah, Minazuki, he just has a lot more options in general in 2.5 than he did in 1.1. 1.1, he was kind of a typical like strike throw character, but with like a really big sword and really good persona normal, so he could play like kind of a mid-range sort of S playstyle too. But in 2.5, he still has that with a little bit less strong like 4A pressure, but he kind of makes up for it and like the better combos that he has going on, and even some of like the, I believe it's like a Kara cancel on like his Rekka into, basically you can do that if you do the SP version, and then you can get a grab from that. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was Zebo who discovered that, so that's pretty
now
cool.
That I don't know. I'm not the lore guy, for the Persona community, unfortunately. I would not know that, so I'm gonna take your word for it. But I have seen that tech used by the few Minazukis I've seen, and it is pretty surprising when it comes out. You're not really expecting it, even if you've seen it a couple times before. Every time, it's kind of like a jump scare.
I'd say that that's probably the word that describes Minazuki the best in this version. You can definitely just kind of be on one side of the screen at 1 second and just kind of zoom to the other side of the screen in the next. So maybe we'll see some of that here in game 1.
And of course, we can't talk about Minazuki without talking about what he just did there. Those massive jump buttons that I would say are kind of better than Mitsuru's in this matchup because they hit twice and they can kind of crush some stuff that you would expect her to do.
Well, you say that, but that JA still did a lot.
That's true. That is true.
Take away ChaosCrush's burst, which is a little scary in this matchup because, again, this is Shadow Mitsuru, and that Shadow Frenzy basically makes this point in the game quite even, if I'm being honest, especially with that DP.
Oh, this is looking scary now.
Yeah, one touch on both sides, really.
Oh no, that is the worst thing that you could have possibly happened to ChaosCrush right now. We're gonna see a Frenzy here. This should be... There's no way this does not hit. This is so much damage. Yep, and there's the second super. This is dead. Oh my god. Yeah, that is one of the worst things that could have happened right there. You whip, your DP gets blocked, baited by Toadle, and just the game completely flips on its head. That is extremely unfortunate for ChaosCrush, but...
Yeah, that's why I said it was even.
Yeah, you're right. It went from, wow, you're full HP versus like 10% to, oh, you're dead.
And what's interesting too is because Toadle was able to get that like burst combo, he actually kind of got like a refresh when it came to his burst. We're seeing another DP baited.
Not gonna build the burst, but this is still gonna hurt.
Oh, this is starting to look a lot more like my 1.1 Minazuki.
Whoa!
Is that gonna kill?
Whoa!
Oh my god, this character is ridiculous.
Wait, that was a clean combo though from Toadle. I'm not even gonna cap. Like, what?
It was a very great conversion from Toadle.
Yeah, that was
But
crazy.
also, that was crazy.
That was crazy. I mean, the fact that he did that without Shadow Frenzy and there was no chance of getting it, and he just like, that was so clean. I can't even lie.
And that was Awakening Health Minazuki. He was like basically at the start of his awakening, and that still killed. Ooh, this character is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
That being said, I wonder if ChaosCrush will maybe lighten a little bit more on the DPs in this next game, because he was doing really strong in the neutral, because it was like you were saying, like, Minazuki's buttons are really good at kind of contesting what Mitsu can do in the air, and we could even see, like, these AOAs are a little random, but they are working out here, so if he can keep up this pressure, then getting a hand grab here, he can definitely use it.
Kind of like the stutter step there. Oh, there's a nice bait there. This should be maybe enough damage. How much are we willing to do here? Oh, not quite enough. That doesn't get the extra pickup.
I think Minazuki could kill there, but I do like that ChaosCrush just took the safer option and got a secure knockdown. The lead there was way more than I think Toadle could easily kind of come back.
Yeah. Oh, the side switch here with the roll. Tries to mash out with the 5A, but doesn't quite get it. TP, now we're out of the corner. And either way, side switch, I see Toadle try to back out to make it so that it won't cross out, but it still does. It doesn't quite get close enough to the corner. Might have had to backdash there to make that not do that.
Now, I was about to say, I don't want to alarm you, but this is actually one touch for Minazuki here.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
You're dead.
I don't even think he doesn't even need burst here.
You don't.
You're just dead.
You're dead. Wow. You didn't even have to spend the Myriad Arrow Super either for that. Like, you just doing the Bufu stuff. We're just doing the easy stuff.
Yeah, that DP will do it.
Oh, goes with the coup into the cross-up and gets the anti-air.
And this is double scary because Mitsu, she got the first hit bonus, so now she has a ton of meter to work with.
No. You could die. I think you're dead. Are you dead? I think you're dead. No. Say it ain't so. Please say it ain't so.
It might be so. He cannot burst this. You are dead. So dead. 6.6k, 8.3k. You're dead. See you. Goodbye.
No, dude. That is illegal. That is incredible. You died like that? That is depressing. I would be sad. Like, that's one of those moments where you're like, oh, I'm not doing too bad in neutral, and then you get hit with like the most random thing ever and die.
Yeah, I would love to point out that Minazuki was about like 75% health when he got hit there.
Yeah.
But he didn't have his burst, so he died.
Yeah, literally got locked out, like in the middle of the combo, and it's like you're it's gone. Like you can't do it.
You just gotta hold that.
You just have to hold it. That was crazy. I'm so sad for ChaosCrush in that moment.
That being said, that was still very impressive.
It was great
to find that conversion, because especially like throughout all of the rounds, really, you just did a great job of converting everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, Minazuki was kind of able to use the buttons to win neutral there, but when it really came down to like just getting out of the corner and fighting that one hit, especially with how DP happy
yeah.
Minazuki was, like, he was just able to make the most of the opportunities that he was given. So good stuff to Toadle.
I think that's definitely one of the things that makes this character so good, right? Is Mitsuru can play such a defensive style, wait for one mistake, especially if you're Shadow Mitsuru, absolutely explode you for making that one mistake. And I think that's something that Toadle definitely played to in terms of the character strengths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, moving on to this match.
Yeah, we have another robbery character.
We got, as far as I'm concerned, we have two robbery characters. If Octo will be playing Yukari, though. From it looks like in the chat, he might not be.
Yeah, but we definitely know that Karma plays Shadow Naoto, and I am not surprised. Oh no, and you're playing Shadow Yosuke versus Shadow Naoto? That's gotta feel bad. Maybe not, actually. It's kind of hard for Naoto to pin down this character. He's kind of like a gnat, you know? He just kind of runs around being annoying.
He does do a lot of that, but he lost a lot of his kind of movement options from 1.1 to 2.5.
Yeah, no more glide.
If you didn't know, yeah, he was able to glide, which is basically like, it's such a fast way to get from the air to the ground while also moving at like a really like long distance. So now Yosuke kind of has to rely on his sort of pacer speed to close it.
Yeah. Oh no, this is not good. Yeah, you're already down to 0. Have fun playing the rest of the round. Because if you get hit one time, you are dead. Oh,
well,
nice
not in this case, but as soon as Karma builds up 50 meter, it's kind of over.
And going for, okay, 25. We're already at 25, by the way. Gotta be very, very careful with what you get hit with. Nice run up there from Octo, just completely with fun that whip 2C.
Yeah, the saving grace in this matchup is that Yosuke is just so fast that Naoto kind of has a hard time setting up her like traps and everything. Yosuke can just win right here.
Oh, yes,
having to use that burst there.
You were dead. Oh, you're dead. Oh. Weird drop there from Karma. Not really their fault either. It just kind of, the banks just kind of whipped. That was kind of weird. Okay, you're dead. Goodbye.
Ooh, that feels painful because I fight Bosadai pretty often. If you don't know, he's a pretty prominent 1.1 like Shadow Naoto player, and he does that a lot. That SB roll, it's so fast and so hard to react to.
You think you have time to like do anything against it, you wind up just getting hit by the gunshots because you're like, oh, I can hit this before she's recovered. Oh wait, actually no, I can't.
And you can see here another trick with Naoto just at this really far like stream. Like she can just pressure Yosuke with bullets, with Naoto's 5D and everything.
And now you're having to play like Minesweeper pretty much. Like Yosuke is not able to play this game once these traps are set up. It is really hard for Yosuke to actually wind up getting in.
Yeah.
Has to burst again. Oh, you're dead.
And you can see that SP roll again just to cross up into the burst to take the round.
That was a perfect.
such a really strong option on Wake Up from Naoto, especially if you're not beating her correctly. Because I'm not exactly sure if that's a frame one invincible like option, but it's very fast and there is a little bit of invincibility to it. If I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
there is some. It's one of her better reversal tools because let's be honest, her DP is like mid at best.
Yeah, it's not amazing.
It's not great, but it's not the worst thing either. There are definitely use cases for it, especially in zoning matchups. But generally speaking, I would say that 25 SP for SB roll definitely the better reversal option in a lot of cases.
Yeah. And we'll hopefully see here from Octo maybe a little bit more kind of care to just stay like in a closer range against Karma. Not necessarily like trying to get in as much, but keeping it close enough to where like you see here like Karma can't just set up like a trap to
Just a quick fact check, by the way. It's frame 4 invuln, and it's all the way invuln from frame 4 to frame 22. So it is quite good. It's quite good. I think if it was frame 1 invuln, that move would be broken.
Very much so.
There's a good use of the DP there. Uses the DP to back that cancel and give themselves a little bit more space. Karma gonna get the raid super going on now, and now you are in a rough spot because they did not have to use burst for this. If you get touched, the game is over. Goodbye.
Yep, game's over. And he took the burst too. No.
For that. I don't think I would have just been like, I got you. You're not gonna burst this. But was even ready for the burst? Like, that's crazy.
Well, that's the thing. What Karma did is that he delayed the grab into the burst just a little bit so that Octo even had a chance to burst. Usually you don't have a chance to burst there. So, because he did the delay, he was able to burst before Octo could burst, and then block the burst.
Wow. He stole the burst. That is such a big swing for Karma, too. Now you don't have to worry about burst for your opponent. If you get that fade down to 0, you just have a free win.
Basically.
Of course, now, Octo trying to navigate through this maze of traps and get through after a little bit of time. Going to be going for some pressure, looking to try and snipe something from Naoto, but Karma, of course, getting the blight into the raid super, and now you're at you have no options left. You should be dead here, yes. Yep. Just enough meter built there, and Karma gonna take it 2-0.
We saw Karma. Yeah, just so impressive because we saw Karma even at the end there doing a bit of a DP bait against Octo because Octo was doing that a lot, just kind of letting Karma get close and then DPing because Yosuke's DP is so strong at close range.
Yes.
So Karma just waiting there just a little bit to bait that DP so that he could get the kill. Very strong.
Yep. Karma, again, one of those players that I also love watching, even though a lot of people, I would say even to some extent myself, dislike Shadow Naoto and how quickly they can just rob you. It's hard to dislike how Karma plays because Karma plays the game so solidly that if they were playing normal Naoto, I feel like they would get half the stuff off that they're doing anyway. They just play the game so fundamentally well that they just are boosted by the fact that they're playing a character that can instantly rob you.
Yep. And even though regular Naoto does a lot of that as well, Shadow Naoto can just really kind of take it to an extreme that really is almost emblematic of some of the things that Persona has to offer when you get to like some of the stronger characters in the cast.
Yes,
just a lot of ways to very efficiently kill you, so to speak.
Yes. Okay, we are going to not get into our next game. We're going to be on a quick ad break, and we will see you all in just a bit for some more Persona bi-monthly action.
Doodles.
Oh, are they playing? We're watching that.
Bonch versus Jordan.
Let's go.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
That will be an insane match. That one's always good.
Dachi versus Narcon.
The canon match.
I have a lot to say about that as an Adachi main. Also someone who just plays a lot of Narukami too.
Yeah, I think this matchup is really interesting. Like, I think all the matchups in this game are generally pretty interesting, but like this one,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just thinking, I'm thinking
That one
out
just
loud.
kind of, yeah, like I agree, it is very interesting.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Todd.
Hello.
Chat here. Just letting you know.
Hello?
What did you say?
Who's on here? Someone's what? Who's here? What?
I did not actually hear that.
Todd, what are you talking about? It was
It was
Todd.
fun.
I didn't hear the thing he said. He said something's here. And then that's all. And then I don't know what he even said.
Quite odd, but okay. Bad break is so fancy. Didn't used to have these.
Did we pull the match arena?
Oh yeah, we should do that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. We're chatting.
We are commentating. Let me actually look at this chat a bit more.
Thanks, Grim. Yeah.
The arcanas and means by which ads are reviewed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? I haven't claimed a code. Okay. Okay. I haven't claimed a code. I need to do that. Alright, we should be back.
Yeah, I believe so.
Hello everyone, welcome back. After the ad break, we are all ready. Actually, no, we're not quite ready, but we're gonna talk about some stuff before we get ready. First off, as you can see, Grimflash did exclamation point Matcherino in the chat. If you have not done so already, could you please go over to the Matcherino and claim the code? We've got 36 codes left, and it would be very appreciated. It's super easy. You just click the claim code button, and it's not all that difficult. I gotta do mine right now. I'm a bad commentator and haven't done it yet. But if you could go over and hit that claim code button, it adds 25 cents to the pot for the players tonight, and that would be very much appreciated.
Yes, sir. Get it done. I believe in you, chat. You can get it done.
Oh yeah, we can definitely get into the next match. I believe the next match should be Bonch. Yes, Bonch just got the score update. Bonch versus Jordan, and
Yes. Yes, sir.
classic. It's such a classic. I love watching these two play, and even more fun when I get to watch them play against each other. Now, Zeno, you have a lot of experience with Adachi. I don't have as much experience playing the character, so I would like to hear your opinions on this matchup.
Okay, well, I don't think that this is a hot take, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I'm the GOAT. I'm kidding. But Adachi Narukami, I believe, is pretty even as far as the matchup is concerned. And it's just a really fun matchup to play. My practice partner in 1.1 most of the time was Zebo, and he's an Narukami player, so I have a lot of experience in the matchup. It's just a lot of really solid neutral on both sides, and they both have pretty decent answers to each other's offense. So it's just a lot of kind of mauling each other a little bit, and just trying to see which one of you can kind of come on top, especially in these scramble situations. So
I
hopefully we can
wanted
see
to-
a lot of that.
Yeah. I was gonna say before the ad break, I think that this matchup's interesting because I definitely think that Narukami is better on the ground, but Dachi he just has so many crazy air tools, and I like the dichotomy between them in that way. And maneuvering around each other's strengths in this matchup is really what kind of dictates who wins.
Yeah, we can see right here, we're gonna see a lot of air neutral, a lot of DPs on both sides, just because they both have pretty decent DPs for this matchup. We see your Bonch getting a good confirm on Jordan in the corner. 3.6k, not too bad.
Okay, burst now used from Jordan, but we're just jumping. Bonch,
Yep.
disrespecting that completely, and I definitely understand why.
Yeah, it's pretty strong to jump against Adachi, because like some of his best moves is off his command grab, Mikidola, and of course if you jump it, you don't have to deal with it. But Adachi does have a lot of anti-jump things, like his 2C is air unblockable, and just that kind of thing can really kind of stuff out that option if Jordan is willing to go for it.
I think that presenting the option of jump for Bonch this early is just generally good for him, though, in all aspects, because now you have to, if you're Jordan, you have to think about the fact that, yeah, Bonch is just willing to jump, and he's willing to jump from the get-go, so you need to be careful.
Great use of the Heat Riser there to lead into a knockdown so that you can get a 5D. Let's get this pressure going. Nice grab and Heat Riser. Get that 10% offense and defense buff.
And a lot of damage here now. What is the option? Oh, goes for the AoE, but the jump back there from Jordan is so good. We're getting a lot of random damage out here from the gunshots, and the AoE is going to be enough to finish that off. Jordan's going to even up the round count really quickly here.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a lot of mauling. So this neutral is going to be really important for kind of setting the tone of this round. And Adachi, of course, wins it with super jumps.
Let's see. Pressure in the corner. There's the DP from Bonch. The first one he's shown so far in this set. Just a nice confirm there. Oh, I thought he was going to block that, but doesn't quite get it. No fear, unfortunately.
So close.
Yeah.
Alright, what will we see now? Probably a bit more J2D maybe from Jordan? Challenge you kind of want to go for.
Nice confirm off the seal card here. Goes for the one more cancel. Gonna get a whole bunch of damage here into a safe jump setup, and Jordan just eats it. Has to burst.
This JD really good because just as a way for Adachi to kind of get in at that range. We're still kind of back to neutral, and that 2C that I was talking about. Yeah. Not able to get that conversion though. Kind of hard.
And missed two confirms.
No.
Still getting it. Yeah, it just gets hit with the good old-fashioned run-up DP.
Overhead into low, baby. And that's
when I was first learning this game in 1.1, that move tilted me more than any other move in the game. I was like, why does this character have a canned mix-up in his DP? Turns out it's actually not that hard to block when you get better at the game. But in situations where you're mental stacked like that, it is not something that you're necessarily prepared for. Especially because it's so punishable too. Because you're not really expecting them to do something that punishable just out of nowhere. But I mean, Adachi players will just let it rip.
I would know. I am a Adachi player. So. But Jordan had so many options there. Like he could have done 5C, command grab, everything. That 23 frame overhead is kind of scary.
Yeah, you're mental stacked because you're thinking about, will he do 5C? Will he do gunshot? Will he do command grab? Will he do regular grab? And then he hits you with DP overhead, and you were not thinking about that as an option at all.
Right here, Bonch was presenting a lot of options of his own. That dive kick there, but another nice DP.
Yeah, I really like the dive kick pressure there from Bonch, and was kind of cooking there with the Raging Lion, but that DP from Jordan, great call out. And now, on the offensive, gets the knockdown, nice DP, good delay rise too, I like that. The safe jump. Forces the burst again from Jordan.
Jordan's not an awakening, which isn't amazing. But if he can get like a JD or something, or just another DP.
Just DP. Oh, gets the fear this time though. Now you have to be careful. That's a fatal counter starter.
This can
here.
kill. This can
Yeah.
absolutely kill. And yeah,
use
Bonch
the
recognizes that. Nice
That was
burst.
I like the point at which he bursted. He was really aware of that. Oh,
Another
doesn't
DP,
quite get it.
but not enough meter for the super, but Jordan cleans it up anyway.
What a-
I really, I really love that SB tackle that he did, because it's such a random option that a lot of people aren't ready for. But he really did a lot with that.
Jordan definitely thrives in the chaos of the random. Like, you see him do some stuff and you're like, wait, you did that? And you're like, that shouldn't work, but it does. I think that's kind of how this character generally works. You definitely thrive in the chaos of the amount of options that this character can present at any time, and there's always one or two that aren't going to be accounted for.
Yeah, one thing I would love to see Jordan do a bit more of is kind of what we were talking about earlier, kind of de-incentivizing the kind of jumping out of pressure that Bonch is doing right now.
Yep.
Adachi isn't the best at doing that, but he does have ways to do it. This Natsu Nadala is about to be kind of scary.
Okay, so double buff now for Jordan. This is going to be something that Bonch really has to maneuver around. Gets the Persona break, and now we're getting close to an option. Oh, we're going straight first save. Going for the Isen. No, doesn't go for the Isen, doesn't want the extra damage. Goes for the bait there, going for another burst save thing, but doesn't quite get the cross slash. And the DP is coming out now for Jordan after rolling through. Fear is on, you get grabbed, you are done. Nice.
Oh no, but all of his buffs are gone because he got Persona broken. Oh,
Yeah,
this
very
is
nice
terrible.
dead angle there. Bonch trying to put the hurt on. The grab run up after the plus frames on the SBZO. Very nice offensive sequence there from Bonch. Gonna seal up the round after it was looking a little grim.
Yeah, though I honestly thought Bonch would have ended it early in the round because he had 150 meters, so he could have done it the Raging Lion to clean it up.
I really thought that I was like, maybe he'll go for the Raging Demon Super.
Or not, yeah, sorry, that's what I meant, the Flying Raging.
Yeah. Thunder God Dance, I think, is the name of what it actually is, which is an absolutely insane name. Oh, nice anti-air there from Bonch. Really trying to control this airspace, but hasn't gotten a lot of damage off yet. Finally getting something going. Oh, not ready for the DP in response, so here's the Heat Riser into a bit of a combo. Gonna get a knockdown here, now you gotta hold that. Oh, nothing from either player. I think Jordan was maybe trying to scout that jump. Looked like he did a jump back, maybe waiting for the jump to do an air throw. And because Bonch had shown that as an option... Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
that should be the round.
Really unfortunate.
That should be it. Oh,
Keeps it burst safe, but not quite enough, but the air grab will finish it up, and that is game 2 going to Jordan. 2-0 for Bonch. Very close though.
yeah, that
Extremely
was
close.
That is the definition of 2 but close. I think yeah, both games went to 3 rounds. Both games were quite close in the life department at the very end. It's just like small things that happen, like Bonch going for Zeodyne Super and it just whiffing. Because there's like, I don't know if it was untech time or what, but
yeah,
Jordan just techs out.
If I had to guess, it'd probably be, yeah, you just had too many hits, it seems. But definitely Jordan taking good advantage of that, and Bonch not bursting immediately there makes a lot of sense, because like a lot of Adachis, like if they get like a 5B punish at that situation, they will be on the lookout for like a burst and try to bait it. So it's good on Bonch that he was able, like he like kind of recognized that and, you know, kept it steady, but at the same time, like you might want to imagine like how that might have ended differently if he had used this burst. But either way, they both played really solid that set. Jordan did a little bit more to come out on top there at the end.
I definitely would not be surprised to see Bonch somewhere in loser semis or finals, even though he has been. I think that I don't know how much he's been playing recently, because I know he took a bit of a break, at least from the Discord. I don't know if he was playing during the break, but he did take a bit of a break. I don't know how rusty he's feeling, but he looks like he's playing quite well, even though he took a break.
Yeah, he's definitely playing really solid. He's still getting a lot of his, just a lot of his conversions on point. Even his mix-ups too. He was getting a lot of grabs and just doing a lot to convert from just very like obtruse sort of ways that Narukami can like make combos happen, like from like the 2 and 4As and everything like that. Even the SB stuff a little bit as well. But Jordan also did a really good job of setting up both Fear and 5D through Heat Riser. So he would do a lot of like ending a combo with like B Heat Riser, which if the combo isn't prorated enough, it will lead into a knockdown. So he can set up 5D or just set up Fear there too. So that really helped him out.
We are about to get into our next winners semi match. We now have Toadle versus Karma. Two shadow characters battling it out. I honestly cannot tell you the last time I saw Shadow Mitsuru versus Shadow Naoto. And it's because for some reason there just aren't as many Shadow Mitsuru players as I thought there were. It seems like so many people like to play normal Mitsuru, maybe for the execution ease compared to Shadow Mitsuru and not having to do all the shadow stuff, but god, this character will just explode you, and it's interesting to see these two go against each other because they both will just rob you at the drop of a pin, it seems.
Yeah, robbery versus robbery, who's the better thief here? And honestly, it could go either way because while Naruto's robbery might take a little bit more setup, she still has a lot of ways to get into it because she'll have the Shadow Frenzy, of course, to drain all of the skull stacks from just Mitsuru. But Mitsuru, she only needs to get Naruto to about like 70-75%. Well, I said percent. Oh, that's a Smash Brain in me. But 75 health to like kind of 75% of her health. You know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean when you're saying 70-75%. You get to that around that 70-75% health mark, and it's pretty much guaranteed that she will kill you from that range. Yeah, from that range.
So game one. This is rough.
Oh, nice jump back instantly on round start here. Karma is gonna use all that he's got already. That's zero bait instantly. And now we are just looking for the 50-meter win con. And if Karma can keep the pressure, it's gonna look real good for his meter. Already at 25 meters, by the way. And you might be dead. You are dead.
You died.
Wow.
It has been 20 seconds into the round, and you are dead. 7.3k.
That was crazy, actually, the fact that he built enough meter to just do that.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, honestly.
That is wild. I did not think that he was going to build a meter in that combo, and then I forgot that auto combo gens so much meter for this character is actually kind of ridiculous.
Uh-oh, no, this is a terrible situation to be in.
This is awful. You are literally dead on the next hit again. Okay.
We're both waiting with bated breath. That was filthy, no! Not quite, not quite. One touch though.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't be surprised to see this. Okay. Oh, tries to get him into it, but doesn't quite get it, unfortunately. But at this point, you're just looking for damage. You don't even need to go for the extra win con. Nice confirmed hit from Karma. Jeez.
Yeah, that 2A was juicy.
Yeah, wow. That was crazy. I really thought that Toadle would die from that combo, but just barely didn't build enough meter. I think it was because one of the bullets whiffed. And in the middle of the gunshot, the up gunshots, it just whiffed because I think Karma might have done it too fast. And it was like, wow, okay, well, you can't kill now, but it doesn't matter because you've done so much damage.
Yeah, I'm looking in the chat. Someone said, who the hell put 10k on Karma? I think that's why.
Yeah, that is true. Karma kind of cooks in a lot, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Karma plays in such like a fundamentally good fashion that it almost seems inevitable that he's gonna rob you at some point.
But these are, like we were talking about earlier, these are still two shadows. Toadle could do the same thing to Karma pretty easily in this match.
Oh, most definitely. Okay. Oh, wow. Just knew that Toadle wanted to go for a little bit of recompense there. Goes for the DP to answer after the coup comes out. Okay, panic. Already put now on. Oh, just to go for the air grab, but doesn't quite get it. Toadle had a little bit of an opportunity there with that counter hit, but doesn't quite confirm off of it. And it's really fishing now for something. There you go. Finally getting it.
Great air turn JB to avoid the 2D. So smart.
Yes. Corner situation now. Toadle has the corner, but it doesn't even feel like he's at that much advantage because Karma is just gonna box his way out now. The situation is completely reversed itself.
Yeah, this is technically one touch. Karma can die here. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I couldn't
See the execution. Do we got it? Oh, not
No.
quite enough.
Okay.
It was off a throw, so it was a little weird.
That's
Okay, for the one more cancel, but doesn't quite get it again. Toadle, unfortunately, not able to convert any big damage off of that Shadow Frenzy, and now you're in a really rough spot. Karma might not even want to spend the Frenzy.
Yeah, if he can get a touch here, he can get into super.
Oh, okay,
it's
we're going for it.
Frenzy.
And we're going for Fangs. Yep, Karma has this on lock. You don't
so
see them
good.
drop that, yeah. So yeah. Down to 0, back up to 7. The win con is now normal now to win con of just getting it to 0 normally and then spending your meter.
I think Toadle, if he can survive for a bit, he almost has his burst back. He definitely makes something happen, but 3 Fate, I don't know.
No!
Fatal counter 2C! I don't know!
Ow! What a combo from Karma there too. That was insane. Going for the mute. This is crazy. Okay.
This is not
Oh
too good.
no! Toadle has to burst there. Yep. That's the only opportunity you really have to burst. You have to burst before the blind actually hits you. Okay, gonna get the corner carry here now. Going for a mix-up. Gets the JB to slam him back down, but the DP in response here from Karma and gets the SP roll through and should have not enough actually to finish that combo out. But this is looking like all but a formality at this point.
Yeah, this is not good, and yeah. It's so hard to block Naruto there, just because she has so many ways to kind of reset her pressure and get back in that you have to be so cognizant of. And I mean, Mitsu, like outside of like SB Coop, she doesn't have like the best way to kind of contest that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Karma, like, he kind of just did his thing, and that was more than enough. I loved how he used like SP roll at the end there to keep up his pressure, and just throughout the entire game, he was just doing so much to keep Toadle from even getting anything started, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, just really strong.
Karma is absolutely ridiculous at this game. Sometimes, like, I see stuff like that and
It's
I'm like,
so impressive.
how does anyone ever beat you, Karma? Like, I see stuff like that and I'm like, there's no way that you lose games sometimes. You have to be invincible. But that should just kind of go to show how good the top end of the Persona community really is. Like, players like Jordan, Bonch, Karma, just consistently good players, consistently playing to like a level that you were like, how do you lose? But then they have to play against each other, and then it becomes obvious how they lose because they're all that good.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see Karma taking it 2 over Toadle, but Toadle isn't really. He's in that conversation too. Honestly, he's really impressed me with the Shadow Mitsu. I could definitely see him kind of playing up again later in the bracket. He's able to make it through losers.
And we actually have a losers matchup next, which is going to be GallantSquire versus Dead Dog Gaming. This is a matchup that I don't say that I would see often. Shadow or regular Igus and regular GA.
Regular Igus and regular GA?
Regular GA. GA is such a. I've seen a lot of people have conversations about GA in the last couple weeks, talking about regular versus Shadow GA and like how hard she has to work and stuff. It's like, this character can, even without Shadow, will still just kind of murder you if she gets a good touch. It's just a little bit easier when you have Shadow because you can murder them for more damage.
Yeah, well, that's the Arxis Brawler Classic. It's just like, this character might not seem like too crazy, but then like she gets in and she does her like little and just kills you. And it's just like, okay, well,
Yeah, you
this
can
is
hit with
definitely a
Rush Punch.
Persona character.
You get hit with Rush Punch into like Black Spot or something, like that's just, you're just like, what am I supposed to do here? Black Spot is one of the worst feeling moves to block because you're like, I don't really know what I should do at this point. Like, I know I shouldn't press, probably, but what else am I supposed to do except for eat stagger pressure or get hit with a high-low?
It feels like the Persona's version of getting guard crushed in like Strive or something.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
just like really, or 6-6L and like Grand Blue or
Wait,
something.
Wait,
Just oh.
Dead Dog is playing
Wait.
Shadow. This is even worse. This is even
Okay,
scarier.
well, a lot of what we, not everything, but a lot of what we said out the window because
Now
this
you
is
just
Shadow
die.
GA. And now you just die.
Total in the chat. That was a good game, Total. We appreciate you gaming for us. And he's not done yet. We will see him in loser's bracket. Still has a match to play down there. But before that, we have to find who will be playing Total, which will be the winner of this match. Dead Dom.
Oh, we don't have the names updated.
Yeah, the names are not
well.
quite updated, but it's okay.
There we go.
So Dead Dog versus Gallant. Now Gallant already on the offensive here. Nice pick from Dead Dog. That was a really crazy place to challenge. Winds up working out for him. The Gallant DPing off. Getting himself out of Ordeal. Doesn't want to waste too much of that meter. That's probably the biggest thing here in this matchup. You want to save as much of the meter as you can. You don't really want to be without it. That's really what gives you your chance versus this character. Going for the command grab super, but the DP in the air there, spinning all of the bullets.
Really trying to just chip him out there with the bullets, but not quite there. But Friday will clean it up. And
Yeah.
you know, we were talking a lot about Chie and even a little bit of Shadow Chie, but I don't want to alarm you, but that's Igus on the screen.
Yeah. Igus
And this
mix-ups.
character is very crazy.
Trying to block Igus mix-ups is like, I don't know, it feels like you're trying to bash your head against the wall and hope that eventually one of the times you'll break the brick. Because this character, I swear, you go to block a mix-up and they do the exact opposite of what you were expecting because it's so hard to react to. Back throw here, one more cancel is going to be a decent chunk of damage into another mix-up situation, I would assume. Yeah, here we go. Oh, what? That pulled Dead Dog out of the corner. Like, what? Like,
I'm not blocking
expecting that. I'm not expecting
I'm
a pull out of the
absolutely-
corner there. No.
I'm never blocking that, and that's a 1-0 from GallantSquire.
Yeah.
Very strong start. Yeah, these block strings are just so hard to just even begin to navigate, and especially when Igus like really knows how to manage her gear gauge, it's just so difficult to kind of contest her, even like let alone when she's like hitting you with left rights and high lows. Like just contesting her in neutral is so difficult.
Yep.
So yeah, hopefully we can see D-Dog kind of make some adjustments here. He can, as Sleeping Table said in the chat, he can absolutely turn this around. He's definitely playing the character for it. And I was seeing a lot from him already when it came to just kind of his pressure. He was doing a lot of, like you were saying, black spot. And he definitely has the ability to get his hits in, get enough meter to go into Shadow Frenzy and make something happen.
Alright, already into the cross of AC. I can't tell you, I was expecting that. The command dash really made that ambiguous. DP here though, and a setup now for Dead Dog. Gonna get the hit actually on that. And should get another one. Yep. But, I mean, smartly, I think GallantSquire actually eats the mix-up instead of checking, and just gets yellow comboed, gets himself out of that, and now the pressure is completely switched here.
AOA 2 to get 2.9k, not too bad.
Oh, nice.
Another AOA attempt.
Oh, there's the black spot, but the super in response now. Dead Dog looking a little rough there, a little worse for wear. Gets pinned down by the bullets. And now GallantSquire is on set point.
I want to see if maybe Dead Dog could get just enough meter to kind of make something happen with Shadow Frenzy, but it's really looking like GallantSquire is just really just figuring out how to get these knockdowns, just get his block string.
Oh,
right. Oh my
that is
God.
disgusting. And that DP just like it's so fast. Like the DP goes away so quickly that it's just so hard to use. And unfortunately, Dead Dog is gonna get clean swept right there. 2-0. Didn't get to see very much of what Shadow GA was doing because Igus got to play her game pretty much the entire set.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with like how tier lists and Persona are in 2.5, but I'm pretty sure it's safe to say Aegis is like a top 5, top 3 even character.
Aegis is still definitely, I would say, within the top 10, because if you're counting like, if you're counting Shadows,
if you're counting Shadows, yeah,
if you're counting Shadows and Normal as separate characters, you've got like, you've got like at least 6 above her, because you've got both Mitsurus, well, maybe not both Mitsurus, at least one Mitsuru. You have both Kens and both Yukaris, I would say, are probably better than Aegis, but Aegis is still definitely up there in terms of like being an insane character to have to play versus. She has so much in her game plan that just works in her favor. If you can't figure out the pattern, or if they're good at mixing up the pattern, you're not gonna be able to block everything.
And especially when piloted by really good players such as GallantSquire, who's able to take advantage of all the potential Aegis has and really push those mix-ups, really create situations where even when he's outside of Orgia, he still has an advantage. You just saw he was able to just push the character's limits as far as he could in that match. And we'll see if maybe he can do that again here versus Toadle.
Yes. Toadle. Gonna try and just avoid probably the situation of being stuck in those mix-ups, but hasn't done a great job so far. Unfortunately gets hit with a random sweep and now has to block a whole lot, but did actually block out a large chunk of that. That was quite nice.
Still gets hit by the sweep. He's still doing pretty good when it comes to this. It's interesting here because I guess there's like bullets and everything to kind of keep Mitsu from jumping in the air, but with Mitsu, as you can see, controls the distance still pretty quickly in the corner there, and great whiff punish on Toadle. Just amazing ChaosCrush there.
Oh, the JA falling just hits for so long, it's so active, goes for the reversal super, but the roll through now from Toadle, and now blocks that 2C yet again, just completely being patient here, waiting for GallantSquire to overextend and try and make anything happen, make mistakes, let him just completely lose the game for himself. At that point, Toadle gonna gain that round for himself now, up 1. Already looking to be up a decent chunk of life here in the second round.
Yep, fatal 5B charged. Wow, we're looking at about 5k here.
Yeah. And something we didn't mention,
resources.
something I didn't notice, we didn't mention it, Toadle's actually playing normal Mitsuru in this game, which I don't dislike actually. I may be feeling like their shadow confirms weren't as consistent as they were wanting them to be in other, in other games. Maybe just doesn't want to play the shadow game in a matchup where you're probably gonna have to use your burst a lot.
Yeah.
I think that those are definitely understandable things. Nice bait. And the
still mashed, even when he knew he could OMC. Actually very smart from Toadle, because like you don't really want to hold anything, and especially since GallantSquire was about to run out of Orgia gauge anyway. Still very smart, and he gets the pickup with that 5B to take the round.
Very nice. I definitely like the bit of stagger pressure that was going on there at the end from Toadle, going 5AA into 5AAA, and winds up getting the last little bit of damage that he needed to close that first game out. And now into the second game, here we go. GallantSquire going to try and look to make some adaptations. Had a lot of stuff go not quite as well as it did in the previous game. A lot of good blocks there from Toadle on the mix-ups made it so that it was really hard for Gallant to actually get a nice offensive opening anytime in that first game. So we will definitely try and see what they can do to remedy that issue in this second set.
Yeah, when I saw from GallantSquire that Toadle kind of took advantage of is that he was doing a lot of bullets in like far ranges, but Toadle was just able to kind of coop and kind of block around it. So I wonder if that will change, but I mean, I'm kind of talking. Toadle's kind of, it's the Toadle show right now.
There's the
working on a perfect.
Yeah, that should be. Well, it's a Persona perfect. Had to send the meter for the super cancel, or the health for the super cancel rather. But wow, that was quite dominant. After the Bufula set up into the overhead, that was very, very difficult for GallantSquire to block. Going for the mix-ups this time, and finally has an opening, but doesn't quite confirm it, unfortunately.
I think the counter hit might have messed him up there, because it being a counter hit changed the timing of like the sweep into JB a little bit. I think that messed him up. But we've seen this combo again. It'll be another 5k, it seems. Oh, drops it a little bit close to the end there, but not a big deal.
A lot of damage came out there. GallantSquire goes for the roll and not quite punished, but this time would be punished. Goes for this.
That was almost so good, but Mitsu can do her DP in the air.
Yeah.
It's very smart too, because like right now Gallant doesn't have access. Well, he didn't have access to Dia, but
yeah, it should be death.
Yeah.
Yes.
Double super.
Double super. And Toadle showing us why we can't quite discount him out of this tournament quite yet. Continuing on now into the losers semi-final match with a 2-0 over GallantSquire, and he will be playing the winner of Bonch versus Octo, and we have seen both these players play already. Octo, we didn't get to see a whole lot of Octo play because we really haven't gotten to see a whole lot of anyone play versus Karma so far, let's be completely honest. But of course we have seen a couple of Bonch games, Bonch looking quite good today. And we will see how he wants to handle Yosuke, because, I mean, one of the things that you kind of have as Yosuke is your whiff punish game can be quite good, because you can make people whiff when they normally wouldn't, because you're so fast. So I want to see what kind of stuff Octo has to make, you know, Bonch whiff. Whiffing some of Narukami's moves can feel absolutely atrocious because of just how many frames are in them. So you might be able to see some nasty whiff punish game from Octo here in this second game, or in this game versus Bonch rather.
The great thing about Narukami is that he has a lot of like sweeping moves, like his 2B, his 5B, that cover a lot of space. And like his Persona normals, like his 5C. But the downside of that is that because like they're so large, they tend to have a lot of recovery on it. And since Yosuke is such like a pixie sort of character who can kind of dash in and out, it's very easy for Yosuke to just bait out like some of these options and just get a good punish. And if Octo ends up playing Shadow Yosuke, which I think he did in the Karma match.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, then Yosuke has, in Shadow, he has a lot more opportunities to get a lot more damage off of his hits, which not as much as like some of the other Shadows, but still very impressive damage for that kind of like pixie dash in, dash out archetype.
Yes. And of course, when you start talking about poison damage and that stuff starts racking up, you start getting to a point where the character is doing more damage than you would ever think they should be able to do, completely honestly. And that's where it's going to be interesting, is like, what are the Shadow confirms looking like for Octo? Does he have them on lock? And if he does, he's going to be doing a lot of damage on any hit, and that's where you really have to start worrying about the whiff punish game, because if you get whiff punished once, you're going to take probably 6k with that poison damage ticking on top.
Something interesting in chat that I just saw is that someone put, I believe, 10k on Bonch. It's
let's go
24k in total on Bonch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, versus 711 points on Octo.
There's about to be nuts.
There's about to be a big payout here if Octo is able to take it over Bonch, which honestly I could see. We weren't able to see, like you said, we weren't able to see too much of Octo, because Karma is just like he's so talented. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely saw there was a lot of potential in what I was seeing from Octo's play. So if you can really pull it out versus Bonch here, it's definitely not as one-sided as this poll would lead you to believe.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, getting into game one here, and yeah, this matchup isn't actually. I don't think that it's too bad in terms of like in terms of just when it comes to the normals or like any sort of like kind of special advantage. I think the real key here will just come down to how each character deals with each other's like, offense when they get hit.
Ooh, I like the walk back there from Octo. Kind of trying to goad Bonch into pressing a button there and looking for that actual whiff punish. And there is the DP coming out from Bonch. Unfortunately baited again. Octo looking for these options so early on in the set and really just willing to wait. But that's not going to deter Bonch. Bonch will just keep doing it. He does not expect that he will continue to bait it.
I love that jab DP here that he did because he was able to jab as like an Abari option, and then he saw that Octo was about to do an AOA, and then he did the DP, which beat out the AOA. So it's very interesting to see kind of that jab used to give him a little bit of time to see what Bonch is doing and respond accordingly.
There we go.
Calm down.
Bonch, while we were talking, was able to get a really nice confirm there into a one more cancel carry to the corner. Of course, once you get in the corner as Narukami, your damage just pretty much skyrockets. Like, you get twice as much damage as you normally get from a mid-screen hit. So, using that meter to get himself into a very advantageous situation. And also using this burst to try and get himself out of a disadvantageous situation, but winds up right back in that corner. Good roll out, though. TP used now from Octo, wants to keep the pressure going, but nice snipe there with the 2B, just the edge of that 2B going to be hitting. And confirm from Bonch.
Very solid confirm. Pressure here. I love the cross up, but Bonch was able to block it. Yeah, this is kind of where like the issues when it comes to Yosuke as a character start to be kind of a bit prominent. It's just like they're both playing neutral and they're getting a similar amount of hits, but Narukami has a lot better ways to like convert into high damage.
Exactly. Here's a Raging Lion, and we're gonna go for cross slash. That should kill. Yes, it will. And like exactly what you're talking about. If you go look at what Octo just did. Like, the amount of hits he got, the damage on those hits versus the damage that Narukami will get for a random straight hit is completely different. It feels like he is maybe doing half as much.
Yeah, like, you see Bonch there, he got like, what? Was it like 3.6k from like a 5A?
Yeah.
I believe. So, you know, when you're in the corner versus Narukami and he's in Awakening with all that meter, it's quite difficult if you're a Yosuke fan, but Bonch 1-0. I wonder what we're doing here. Oh yeah, and someone in the chat pointed out too that Octo did unfortunately miss his sweep there. I think he was trying to use it just like as a way to kind of get in, but it just kind of barely missed Narukami, so he's able to get punished.
Wait, we're frozen on 1 second. Wait, what's happening here? But the screen is still moving. Wait, what is happening? I've never seen this happen before.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like someone disconnected.
Yeah, okay. Probably, if I had to guess, I would say it was Bonch.
Okay, well.
If I had to guess, I would say it was probably Bonch that got stuck. I've seen him get stuck before.
Well, unfortunately, we don't really have any way to know. I'm looking at chat, and yes, that is the fabled Teamspace on commentary. And no, you cannot have my autograph.
Too cool for autographs. You can't have that. That's worth too much.
Exactly.
Sorry, but I
That being said, if you are willing to use !Matcherino to contribute to the Matcherino, as we're getting into this next game, the chances of getting my autograph do kind of skyrocket a little bit.
The stonks are up. So, Octo switched to normal Yosuke. That was not an accident.
Okay, here.
Well, hopefully we can see maybe the increased defense from getting into Awakening will be able to help him survive a little bit longer versus Narukami's like, heavy offense.
I think it makes sense because, like, in a way, like, you never really got to use the Shadow Frenzy in that first game at all. So you might as well just have the extra defense and the burst and a little bit more flexibility in what you're able to do versus what you had last time. Very nice confirm there, but you can see the difference in damage already. It's just even Narukami gets more damage than that on a mid-screen confirm, and he has to. He doesn't get very much damage on a mid-screen confirm from just a 5A.
Ooh, great conversion from Bonch.
Ooh.
And ooh, a bit of an arena setup there. The 5D technically kind of gates the burst in a sense. Uh-oh, not a Persona break.
Oh, Persona break here is kind of tragic. Like, Octo definitely needs to chill out and get those back. Has them back now. Luckily, 3 card doesn't take very long to recoup those lost cards, but already back down to 1. Bonch is really playing for this this Persona break win condition right now. Nice jump there on the Tintarafu, and now back into a Persona break within like 10 seconds of the last one.
Well, that's what happens when you only have 3 cards, but the great thing about it is that he has his Persona back already. 18 seconds on the clock though. It's kind of getting down there, and that poison isn't helping Bonch.
Confirm, nice jump again on the Tintarafu, but now it's just gonna be a runaway
Any
game.
time out? Okay.
Yeah. Very nice use of the 5C to cover the escape, or 5D rather, to cover the escape.
Very
In that
strong
air.
start here again from Octo. But the gold burst here, I think Bonch has been fighting Botsadai a lot recently. These gold bursts are kind of crazy, but they're working out.
Has full meter because of that gold burst. Oh, nice little stutter step to get himself out of the corner there on that little mix-up that Octo was going for. Now has the corner positioning. Dead angle comes out from Octo. Does not want that pressure to continue any longer. Wants to start his own, and now he will. DP blocked, but no punish. Maybe expecting a super cancel. Maybe expecting a super cancel and didn't want to try and overextend there. So it winds up not being too bad because Octo does get the pressure back and now goes for the throw. And that should be the game. Quite close. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Don't underestimate Narukami. He definitely could have killed there. Uh-oh, he could definitely kill here though.
Cross slash. Yeah, you just
Say
said
it
cross
ain't
slash.
so.
I'm sorry. I'm
Say
sorry.
it
I'm
ain't
sorry.
so.
That's how you know that you're a commentator when you curse someone that bad. Whoops. that was tragic.
It's what we were talking about when it just comes to damage with Yosuke. It's not there.
It really
But
is.
Octo taking a bit of a page out of Bonch's book. The gold burst.
Getting that meter on deck. No poison applied yet, but playing at this far spacing, one of the interesting things is you would say, you know, obviously Yosuke is really good at rushing down, but because of his speed, he can kind of play a weird keep away game too, so not too bad when he's at a full screen situation like that. Honestly, probably better for him. And here comes the Garudai.
Yeah, not quite gonna kill though, and the 5A mash. Bonch is still in this, especially.
Cross slash. That's the backwards cross slash. He gets an extension off this. Oh, he didn't.
But he missed it. I know that he missed time to 2B there. Yeah. He just stood still. But that is not enough.
Oh, he
Violates the burst. Oh my god. Bonch is just different.
Bonch grasped victory from the jaws of defeat twice in that last game to win the set.
Yeah, and it's like we keep saying, just the damage isn't quite there for Yosuke. Just so many times, just a pixel of health for Narukami, but a pixel of health is still you're still in the match.
Yeah,
Bonch
really,
was
yeah.
just able to take it.
That was tragic. So we are going to quickly get into an ad break. We're going to keep talking for the people that are subbed, but we're going to quickly get into an ad break, and when we come back, we will be getting into winners finals for this Persona Fight Club bi-monthly. We will see all of you non-subs in just a bit. For all the subs, what's up? We're chilling.
Yeah, we're chilling here for just a little bit. I'm actually not sub, so I'm both a normie and a commentator, so we're in here.
Yeah, I'm definitely in down to talk about that last match a little bit more.
Yeah, we should chat about it a bit more, because especially what I really liked from Bonch, even though his conversion ability in that match wasn't as great, as what we've seen from him a little bit prior, he was still like he still did enough to get those clutch moments, get those kills, and really taking advantage of the fact that Yosuke just doesn't do a lot of damage to just clutch out those wins.
I think it's this might sound weird, but I think that when you are playing versus a character that is fast and is hard to pin down or guess exactly where they're gonna wind up in the air or on the ground, it is a lot harder to confirm because you're so focused on where is this character going to be on my screen that when you get the hit, you're not always ready to confirm. You have like a mini mental stack on your own offense because you're too focused on where is this dude flying versus, all right, when I hit this guy, I'm gonna get this confirmed. So it doesn't surprise me that he missed so many confirms. In my opinion, it is a lot harder to hit consistent confirms on characters that are constantly flying through the air than people where you know that oh, they're probably gonna wind up here, they're probably gonna do this thing, especially because there aren't as many Yosuke players in the game anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of the power of Yosuke for at least when it comes down to why he still like has some relevance in this meta despite not having glide. He's just so fast. Like he's just so much faster than every other character that like that mental stack, like even just a little bit of hesitation because like, oh, I finally caught this super speedy character that has been running circles around me for the entire match, like that just so happens to have a blue color scheme, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm kidding, but nah, this isn't Smash Ultimate. But when it came down to it, I do see what you mean in that like it is hard to get a little bit of like those confirms to be as consistent as they usually are from Bonch, but he was still able to clean up. And I think we're also about getting into the end of our ad break.
Yeah, I think so. We're getting close to the end. Another minute and a half.
Another minute and a half.
Wait,
okay.
my ad break's almost over. Oh, I see. Jordan taking forever. Classic.
Wow.
Classic Jordan.
I guess we could talk a little bit about I guess something that I want to see from Bonch actually a little bit more that I was a little disappointed by not seeing, but I totally understand because it's a tournament match, is Raijin Enbu. I want to see it. He had 150 meter a couple of times. I want to see maybe just once a little bit of a 2-1-4A into one more burst into Raijin Enbu or just something there. I would kind of like to see that if possible.
I used to think that super was hard, and then I recently went back and was like, I'm gonna mess around with Narukami again in training mode, and I did the super, and I was like, this is a lot easier than I remember it being. And I don't know why.
It's one of the first things that I actually learned when I got into this game because I didn't really play a lot of like, or at least I wasn't very executionally savvy with a lot of fighting games beforehand. So I thought that it was like this thing that would be like impossible for me to ever do, but like if I kept practicing at it, one day I would get it. But no, it's actually pretty easy.
I think the hardest part is obviously the timing of the charge at the very end, but the rest of it is pretty straightforward, I would say.
I think the most difficult part actually is just setting up for it perfectly, because there are like some setups, like if your opponent is like crouching, you can get like a 2C and then like do some other stuff to get into it, or like if you're really good, you can just DP into it, or like one more burst into it or whatever. But there's just like in a tournament match, there are so many times where like you have to be so cognizant of so many different things that it can be a little difficult to just kind of get a hit and then think like, oh, this is the most efficient way for me to combo into this move. So that's really why we don't see a lot of it in high level play, but when it does show up, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. I think that it's such a fun super to actually do. I think the biggest thing is like the reward for hitting it is quite high too. Which you would think would be a slight incentive, but I think it's mainly just people are so afraid of dropping it because if you drop it, you just put yourself out there for a full punish and you spent, 100 meter? Yeah, 100 meter or 150 meter, depending on where you dropped it. which is always like a tragic thing to happen.
Yeah, if you drop it, you're basically, most of the time you're basically dead, because you're already in Awakening to even use the super, too,
Yep.
so it's just like, well, not exactly the greatest, but you know it is great, it's Winners Finals. Getting into it.
What a pain in the ass.
Karma and Jordan are gonna go at it.
See,
And of
who
course-
knows that Karma got this, no other outcome. It's not as set in stone as that.
I would say that these two, I have seen these two play quite a few times, and this is a close match pretty much every time I've seen it.
Well, that kind of goes with our prediction too, because right now it's 54% on Karma and 46% on Jordan.
Yeah.
That's pretty close to 50-50 as far as just general predictions go.
It is a close one because sometimes Jordan will just get the big confirm, and you're like, damn, I can't believe that happened. It's like, I think it's really an example of orthodox versus unorthodox playstyle. Jordan
there.
likes chaos.
Yeah, Jordan there a little bit slow on that 5D. You can use 5D there, but he's just a little bit too slow on it. So now it's his own 5D caught it. But speaking of getting caught, Shadow Frenzy.
That mix-up was pretty nasty. Goes for the one more cancel. That was always hard to see because the one more actually like obscures the where exactly Naruto is and what they're doing. So
this is actually not too bad because you can get Mandala from this.
yeah, this
well, he kind of messed it up there, but
it's
doesn't
okay.
matter too much.
Double buffs. This is robbery territory still, and we
Absolutely.
all know that Adachi is like the king of robbery.
Exactly 50 meter for the super cancel.
Oh
Great
my
recognition
God.
from Jordan, because 39 meter, I'm pretty sure is the minimum amount needed to be able to super cancel. So,
That was
great
crazy.
stuff.
That's some stuff you would expect to see from Karma because of the character he's playing. And then you see Jordan pull out double Negi Dola command grab, and then it's a super cancel to kill. Ooh, nice. I like that confirm.
Speaking of killing,
Yeah, this is super scary. Oh, you're dead. Goodbye.
yeah, I'm actually not sure if I necessarily agree with the burst from Jordan there, just because, like, Karma already has 15 meter. He has burst. He has like so many resources to that where basically any touch in that round specifically was just dead anyway. And it's just too much health to really come back with. But now he has this round and he doesn't have any burst either. So he really is like, after this combo, he will be one touch because this is about to.
Oh, that's
maybe
tragic.
not like that.
Wait, that's a punish. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't
Not
quite
like
get a big
that.
punish. No. Oh, nice snipe there from Karma. Trying to recover this situation that was going so well for them, but all of a sudden, it seems so bleak. But
That
now
double
already
things,
down to one
though.
thing. Yeah, double fangs gets the mix-up. Mandala after the DP. Again, we're in robbery territory. You have to be careful versus this character.
I call Mandala the great equalizer for a reason. It's as far as I'm concerned, this match is it's pretty even actually.
Oh
It's
my
definitely
god!
even.
Oh my god! Oh no. Okay, nice roll there, breaks the persona, but goes for the DP. DP response!
That's not gonna work!
What in the
No!
world? I don't even know how to commentate what I just watched.
That was
That was insane.
that's something. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. Yeah, that was a series of not unfortunate, not fortunate, just a series of events. Those are a series of events that just happened. I would have loved to see Jordan do Atom Smasher as a cancel instead of Heat Riser, because I feel like if he did D Atom Smasher, that actually would have beaten out the DP. But a lot of Adachis these days would like to do DP into Heat Riser, so I get why he did that, yeah. Because it has a lot more combo.
Yep.
ability.
It's also highest reward, probably. You know, like you get a combo and you get the buff off of it. So definitely makes sense why you would want to go for that and get the highest reward possible.
Yeah, the 1-0 Karma right now. See if he can continue this or Jordan will kind of do something.
That was a great anti-air there from Karma. Gets the Blight into the Raid Super. Now down to 0 Fate, and you are literally one touch away from dying yet again. Have to be extremely careful with what he does here, and that's going to be it.
That's tough. The thing is that Blight is really, really good in the Adachi matchup, because if Naruto didn't have Blight, her best anti-air would be her very stubby 2B.
Yeah.
But Blight really just allows her to, exactly as we see here, take advantage, take up that space so that Adachi can't just run in with JC for free. And we see here that really helped him out, kind of close out. And Jordan, these yellow combos are coming out in full force, but yellow combos are still combos, so.
I think Karma's just willing to take the extra damage, doesn't want to get reset into a weird mix-up and have to deal with that, but, I mean, unfortunately, all that extra damage does seem to be adding up here. Jordan gonna seal that one up with an air dash JC after that jump, and now we're even up in round count.
Yep, as Random put in the chat, they are having a for real, they are for real having a cheat-off. Yeah. That's the best way to describe this matchup.
I think the best thing about Blight for this matchup is Adachi likes to air stall a lot with stuff like J2D and JD, and it really just stops him from doing stuff like that if you do it preemptively. But on the same token, like Karma playing Shadow Naruto also likes to air stall a lot to press these traps and put them on the ground. So if Jordan can get those snipes like he has been, that's going to be a big thing for him, but unfortunately, gonna have to use the burst there. Doesn't want to just randomly die here.
This is not looking too great for Jordan. Adam Smasher?
Nope.
Too slow in this version.
Nice.
In 1.1, that actually would have worked, because Adam Smasher is extremely quick in 1.1, but in 2.5, they nerfed its startup quite a bit, so that just didn't quite work out.
Alright, up 2 now for Karma, but Jordan is not quite out. Would have to reverse sweep this to continue on the winner's side, but I would not count Jordan out of this at all. Has had some really nice rounds already so far, and if just 1 or 2 more interactions goes his way, it seems like he would win the game pretty handedly in a couple of these situations, so you definitely can't count him out of this quite yet.
Yeah, what I'd love to see from Jordan when it comes to kind of dealing with things like Blight in the air is doing what I think he's going to start doing, actually. Just doing a lot more super jump nothing, like not super jump air dash, because then he's able to block like the Blight and things like that. Yeah, I think that's going to help him out a lot. But...
oh, air fang. Oh, what a confirm from Karma.
Jeez.
Unfortunate.
Jordan's really good at these fatal combos too, so this is going to do a lot of damage and lead into fear. And he baits the DP! And this is what we were talking about when we say that Adachi is... He's like one step away from being a Shadow character, because he's really good at just robbing you in situations where it doesn't really look like that.
He will just steal rounds from you, and also the amount of damage that he puts out in just regular scenarios is quite high, so you can't afford to make too many mistakes. We were talking about 1 or 2 interactions can really swing a game for Jordan, and that was an example of 1 interaction kind of swinging the game for him.
Something that I like from Karma just now is that he shot the Persona that was doing JP to break it. You really want to go for Persona break if the Adachi is doing like not very smart with holding like his Persona types in this matchup. And you see here, Jordan, a bit of a sitting duck.
Whiffs the DP there, and it gets crossed up by Karma. Karma gonna spend that fate counter, set it back up to 13, but almost has Shadow Frenzy anyway, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal to reduce it back down. Nice DP bait here from Jordan, gonna get Karma close to the corner here, but Karma fights his way out.
Nice 2B. That was a hero 2B. If I have to say it. Okay, we got the... okay, we're not blocking?
Oh, wow, that should be death, and I don't see how you don't die to that, yeah. Does not block the setup on the Zeodyne and instantly gets punished for it. As we were talking about, just a couple things need to go right for Jordan to quickly swing his way back into this series.
Yeah, we can see Jordan had a really great confirm when it came using the land cancel that Adachi has on his tennis combo to just turn like put Naoto in the corner and set up that 5D. And I mean, if you're not blocking that 5D, like that's gonna do a heaping of damage. So we're getting into this 2-1. Definitely possible for Jordan to bring this back, honestly. See here, Karma, or Jordan getting the first knockdown, and Karma is really swinging with a lot of these DPs. Jordan's starting to kind of catch on to that, but Jordan has a few DPs of his own.
Yep, gets punished for that heat riser and has to burst instantly, and now we're in a full screen situation, which you really don't want to be in as Adachi, because even trying to use 2D can be a little bit spooky. He does actually get it to connect that time, and the trade there is huge. It gets the anti-air 2B, and it's going to seal a roundup. It was looking a little scary because Karma can definitely get rid of that 2D pretty easily, but wasn't expecting that one to come out and winds up getting extremely punished for it.
And you know, the great thing about Adachi's 2B is that he crouches really low to the ground before doing so. And it just has like, it has really good properties. It's just like, just as an anti-air, which is its purpose. Like, it's really good at doing that, especially versus jumping.
Okay, spending 50 meter here, Karma gonna go down 3 Fate now, Fear plus Mute, that's gonna be really, really big here, and we're gonna do the doesn't quite get the combo, it's gonna do the corner carry combo, I believe, that we saw in a previous set, but doesn't quite get it to connect. Still 3 Fate, but of course.
We're gonna go into Mandala here.
Jordan is in Awakening. Cannot discount this character, especially when they have this buff on, inflicting all different status ailments. Drastically swing the tide of the match. Nice DP there. That's one of the situations where Naoto DP is actually quite good. Gets out of having to hold that Zeodyne into run-up mix.
Proof what they both know is that this is essentially one touch on both sides.
Negative penalty was there for a second on time, but does move forward enough to get rid of it. Gonna have to be careful with how they move now, though. They might actually get it on them. Yeah, they do. They really have to be careful now.
T2D, huge. Huge. Oh, no.
Nice DP from Karma. Jordan wasn't quite looking out for it, I think. I think he got a tunnel vision on the fact that there was negative penalty right there. One hit wins him the game.
Oh, but the JC here set up pressure. Adachi has really good pressure versus Naoto. You can definitely do a lot to keep her in the corner. The 2C is what I was talking about earlier, that they're unblockable. You gotta hold that. And then the SD Heat Riser to set up for 5D pressure. Very strong from Jordan. Karma's able to just kind of jump his way out. On the
stalwart in defense, yes. Stalwart in defense, double fangs out of the corner, gets the raid super down to 0, and now you have to hold all of this. You just got
no.
I'm so sorry.
Just die. No, look at the damage, look at the damage. 8 points!
Sorry. How to
it's
get
enough
away
to make a grown
murder. Absolutely got away with murder. I want it to be known that before that situation, like Jordan had exactly 7 Fate, gets hit by this raid super down to 0. That combo that happened before did, if you count the blue health that was there, maybe 1300 damage.
Yep.
And he died after.
That, it did 8k because it's an instant kill. This game is it's something special.
This is a game.
This is a game. But Karma is showing that in this game he is a gamer and takes the 3-1 over Jordan. I don't even know what to say to that.
That's crazy. All we can really say is
there's nothing.
I mean,
there's nothing to say.
We're gonna have to see how Jordan deals with the winner of this match, because we're just gonna have to look for how he tries to adapt. If he's gonna, make it back up to grand finals, how he's gonna adapt to play versus these runbacks that he's gonna have to play versus. Possibly Bonch would be a runback, Toadle would not be, but if he was to win versus either of them, he would have to then do another runback. versus Karma, and it really comes down to how good are you at adapting to these situations that you've already seen, and how good are your opponents at adapting to the things that they've seen from you.
That's very true, because right now we're about to get into Bonch versus Toadle, and is it whoever wins this fights Karma?
Whoever wins this will
Or
fight.
not Karma, sorry,
will
Jordan.
fight Jordan, yes, and then whoever
Okay.
wins that match will fight Karma in grands into loser
Alright.
semis now, and I believe this is this still first to 3? Or is this first to 2?
I'm not sure.
This is first to 2?
First to 2? Okay.
Okay.
So loser semis, Toadle versus Bonch. Getting right into it.
Oh,
Two characters with big swords and big normals to compensate. But
these characters are actually kind of interesting to me because I feel like they play a similar game plan, but I would say Mitsuru's can be even more defensive than Narukami can normally be. So honestly, you're usually going to see Narukami be the aggressor in both scenarios in this match.
that's the thing
Because
here.
yeah.
Narukami is definitely he's being aggressive. Yellow combo, but it still did 4.5k. So
you'll probably see Toadle do a lot of backup or like try to get some small pokes in and then look for some spacing so that he can play a spacing game. And Bonch is just gonna be like, I'm gonna try and get some advantage, like frame advantage somewhere, and then get in and kill you.
oh,
Nice double block.
1 sec.
And now, unfortunately, Bonch is in this corner, isn't gonna die because Shadow Frenzy is gonna run out of time. So no super is gonna come out there from Toadle. Bonch goes for the OS there, looking for a grab, possibly gets the counter hit there on the Zeo, and now we got pressure for days here going on. Nice counter hit there. Gonna get a little bit of a trade, it looked like, and Toadle gonna.
I'm gonna tag in for Xeno real quick because he's kind of busy. All right.
Okay.
I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Well,
with
you
Bonch.
say that, but I actually
Oh, he got
just
back.
came
All
out.
right.
Get out of here! Oh my god, DP.
Alright, we're so back, and it seems like Bonch is also back. He's up
Yeah.
around.
Again, like I was talking about, Bonch kind of being that aggressive. There's only really one window where you'll probably see Toadle try to be the major aggressor, and it's gonna be when Toadle has Shadow Frenzy to get a clean hit. But oh my god,
Speaking of clean hits,
will Bonch finally hit it? Oh, you took that away from him. I mean, I understand why you had to, but like,
yeah.
I think Bonch would have killed with that. Nice confirm.
Oh, he
there on the
absolutely
current
would have
J2B.
killed.
Yes, I feel like there was no way he doesn't kill there unless he drops it again. But it looked like he was getting that one clean. I don't think he was gonna drop that. I like the use of one more burst there. I really like when you use one more burst in a situation where you essentially force your opponent to either die or use theirs. Because then it doesn't feel like, even if you're not gonna even if there's a chance that you don't win the round, then you both still don't have burst. So it doesn't feel nearly as bad to spend.
Definitely, especially when you're in situations where you already did a good chunk of damage to your opponent already, even before using the one more burst, because then you have to trade bursts, but you also did more damage. So you're still up from that change overall.
Oh, yeah, again. Bonch is getting so much value out of his air normals in this fight so far.
And then J2B is God.
It is.
So,
That is like, I would say that is probably one of the best buttons in just fighting games in general. That button is insane. Gets the safe jump, but he does it delayed timing, so it's not really a safe jump, but total flinch there, expecting the land to come through, and Bonch is just gonna absolutely clean up. That did so much damage.
5.3k. Are we sure that Bonch isn't playing a shadow?
I know.
That damage is kind of crazy, but that's just Narukami things.
Yep.
This character can basically just do it all.
Yeah, very flexible character. Nice air throw there from Toadle. Gonna get some pressure finally going here. Finally getting something started. And we get, oh no, Marin Karen set.
Oh, because the combo was a bit too prorated?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, Bonch, you are nasty for that. Goes for the safe jump into the SB breaking line, gets the pickup. How much damage was that? That was ridiculous.
It was a lot. 3.3 and a little bit extra. And Bonch with the crazy
Bonch,
confirms?
please, Bonch. Oh, he doesn't quite get it all though. Small chance here for Toadle. Oh, I really thought we were gonna see a Zeo come out, and then finally we do in the air. Zeo sealing up the second game for Bonch, and that should be Bonch. Move on now to fight Jordan in the run back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
we
this
saw
is-
Bonch. He had just crazy combos that game. He was like his conversions were insane. Like that combo, I really wish that combo killed. Honestly,
Yeah, it
Like,
was sick.
it was crazy.
If he had meter, it would have killed, but he didn't have
Mhm.
meter at the time. He only had like, I think it was like 16 meter. So if he had Zeodyne, obviously, you know, he's cashing out there, but he didn't quite have enough meter. Clip it for will it kill? Yeah, actually,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Too close, but not quite there. But speaking of being not quite in grand finals, we have losers finals, I believe. Coming
Yes,
up.
and this run back is huge. This run back is absolutely massive because I honestly, we talked about it when it happened. It was 2-0 but close. Every single game was last round, and it really did seem like one or two situations, again, going a different way, as is the case with most Adachi matches. Going a different way probably wins Bonch the game or a game somewhere in there. So if Bonch has the adaptations already, and Jordan isn't ready for those, there's definitely a chance that Bonch can take this finals. And you have even more time to adapt now too, because this is first to 3. We're in losers finals. So
Yeah, as you said, this is first to 3, so definitely that extra 2 games that could happen could definitely mean a lot more in the difference between the last set and this set. And something else to keep in mind is now that they've played a set today, they kind of have a good idea of how each other are kind of playing today, what sort of habits they may have, and I'm sure while these people have fought a lot in general, definitely a lot more, especially in this matchup, there's a lot more like kind of minute things that you have to kind of keep in mind for whenever you do fight in this matchup, because Adachi Narukami, like I said, I believe that it's pretty even, so you definitely have to take advantage of the little things that your opponent is doing that you can potentially capitalize on, and I hope we can see a lot of adaptation on both sides between their last set and this one.
yeah, I agree. I think that it really is going to come down to the fact that this match is so, this matchup is, I would also say, even from just watching this matchup, I've never played either of these characters against each other, but even watching this matchup, it seems very even, just visually as well. So I think it really is going to come down to who adapts better in this set. Already starting with double air turn JC. I kind of like that from Jordan, really trying to leverage that. Goes for the 2B, doesn't connect though, and now Bonch is on the offensive, and he's going to try and take as much space as he can. Takes him all the way to the corner, but what a mash there from Jordan. Challenge.
Something that I would have liked to see from Jordan is doing like an immediate 236 BB, the cross-up thing that puts Narukami in the corner. Because if he did that right after 5B, I think that would have bounced against the wall and he could have gotten a combo from that. But either way, it was good recognition from him to know that he could do that and kind of put Narukami in the corner. But unfortunately, he's kind of in the corner right now, and Bonch gets a really good bait on the grab there. Forces a burst.
Really
On
nice
Awakening
throw there.
too. Kind of scary.
This is a really, really bad spot for Jordan to be in because, oh, the drop is so sad. That actually makes it a lot less bad for Jordan because now Jordan is in Awakening and has the ability to completely rob. Nice block there. Magatsu Mandala comes out, roll afterwards, and now we're in. Guard cancels, get off. I want you back in the corner, and the Raging Lion overhead will help Bonch seal that first round up.
The net play unblockable out here in losers finals. But we figured it out in the first round. Let's see if Bonch can take another one to take this first game, or if Jordan can maybe... Oh, he's already kind of doing something with these grabs, going kind of crazy, showing a bit of Adachi's nature.
A little bit of a check there from Bonch, goes for the anti-air, doesn't get a full confirm out of it, but does get the anti-air, kind of switching the momentum around a little bit there for just a bit. Now, I don't think that super jump was on purpose. That definitely looked like it was trying to be an OS. I think Jordan maybe thought that it crossed up or something, and it wound up being weird. Oh, the safe jump.
That gold burst was definitely intentional though, and the safe jump is good to go crazy.
Oh
That's what I was talking about earlier. The jab into the DP.
Yes.
Bonch playing so well here.
I really like that option. He uses the DP to go through the guard cancel attack. Says, no, you do not get to get out of this for free. Even though you spent 50 meters, it's not for the free, but you're not out. Here comes the Raging Lion. This should seal this game up.
Well, oh, so close. I wonder if he could have DP'd at the end there to make
Yeah,
it
that
kill,
was what
but-
I was saying. I thought he was gonna go for the DP there. I really did.
Either way,
But just wants
Bonch
to be
takes
safe.
it in the first game. Yeah, he keeps it safe, which is good, because if that DP, if it did whiff, that would have been terrible.
Yeah, you have Magatsu Mandala on deck for Jordan now, and
Yep.
just you're getting fatal counter started. You do not want that to be the situation that winds up happening there. So it definitely makes sense that in a tournament you're not even gonna go for it. You're just gonna go for the easy safe jump and go into standard stagger pressure. Definitely makes sense there.
Yeah, keep it simple, keep it clean, and Bonch is up 1-0 in this next match. Went back to character select for a bit, maybe just to kind of refresh Jordan's thoughts, kind of figure some things out. A stage change as well. Maybe it just wasn't super net play friendly, but see here, Jordan getting a lot of like kind of small like two-way like pressure things started, but Bonch is doing a lot of what he did in the last set, just kind of jumping out of Jordan's pressure.
Yeah, I think Bonch, one of the reasons that he lost that first set was he was showing the jump as an option, but then didn't commit to it enough to make it a consistent threat. He was constantly getting hit with stuff like grabs and stuff just by, blocking on the ground. He'd show it once in a while. I think you need to show it enough times that Jordan's like, okay, you're gonna keep doing this, and now I have to respect it. And that's when you can start sitting there on the ground doing blocks and stuff like that. You have to present it enough as an option for Jordan to want to respect it, because Jordan, if you only show it once or twice, I don't think that they're willing to respect that.
Another thing too is that Jordan, he's got like 2 heat risers so far, but he hasn't been able to connect the fear afterward, and it's really kind of leaving that situation with a lot to be desired. Still getting that hit in, and another super jump JC.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so
Ghastly
good.
whale.
Love that super.
That super is really sick. Alright, first now no longer on the table for Bonch because he had to use it in the last round, wasn't able to actually seal it up. So big advantage here for Jordan, having burst and also knowing that his opponent does not have one either. So one bad DP could actually just be tragic here for Bonch. Trying to get a whiff punish there going and doesn't quite get it. 5C at the tip there from Jordan. Oh, the safe jump, but didn't believe. Now Jordan out of that situation gets the 2D to hit after, and there comes the command grab. Megidola.
Yeah, using Megidola after stance is really helpful for Adachi in terms of just mixing up the pressure so that he doesn't have to wait for his moves to like recover before going for a grab. And we see there, Jordan getting, oh, he's doing what he did earlier, using SB tackle in order to catch Bonch off guard. I love that.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to do as Adachi. It's just, it's such a nice mix-up because no one really expects Adachi to just be able to hustle over there so quickly.
Yeah.
Because he's not a below average character when it comes to running speed, but like, he usually isn't going to get anywhere super duper quickly, so having that option to just kind of mix up and mess with Bonch's timing is so strong, and I love that Jordan went for that.
Yeah, you can see that like Bonch went for a dash block and then sees nothing come out, and then tries to go for a dash block again and gets completely caught off guard by the SB tackle and how fast it closed the gap. And honestly, that was looking good for Bonch after the burst. Like there was definitely a chance there for Bonch. So using that little unorthodox approach method from Jordan wound up working out really well, and that momentum seems to be translating so far into this early part of the round. But Bonch says no more momentum. I want to play the video game. Nice tech there from Jordan.
Oh, he's certainly playing.
Yeah, we are definitely playing the video game here.
Definitely playing some neutral here until that JC says no more neutral for you.
Oh, nice 2B, but no confirm, unfortunately. And that's a crazy 2B in response from Jordan. Absolutely destroying the Raging Lion attempt. And now...
I understand the burst there. It makes a lot of sense.
Oh, nice confirm there from Bonch, little one. Dive kick pressure, stagger, didn't quite confirm off that, but that's okay, you're plus. Goes for the air grab there, OS.
Something that's interesting here is that Adachi, he only has one Persona card left, so he has to be a little bit more tenacious with his Persona usage. Had to use the SP gunshot there to keep his Persona safe.
Yeah. Oh, and Bonch tried running up, maybe trying to snipe a Persona move right there, but doesn't quite hit it. Winds up getting counter hit himself. Is in Awakening, has a little bit of an opportunity here, plus frames from that SPGO into the raging line overhead, but the DP comes out because the air dash was not quite low enough to make that move connect, and unfortunately, the round just kind of slips through Bonch's hands there.
So close there. Just not quite able to make it. But we're going on to round 2. Still a chance to come back here. And in the corner, doing again the arena pressure.
Yeah.
5D. So
Yeah,
strong.
that hasn't been real since 1.1, I don't think, unless you do a very specific setup. I don't know if that setup was real, because I didn't quite see the setup, but...
It was not real in Ultimax, but, or at least, like, the sweep. But still making it work out here in 2.5, and Bonch is making more than just that work, because this round is so close to being over, but not quite enough meter.
That was so tragic. He literally was 1 meter off from sealing the round. He is still gonna take it. He gets that 5B into 5C confirm, but that was a little scary there for a second because he just barely didn't build enough meter for that DP to be able to be canceled. There we go. Nice. Very nice anti-air there from Bonch. Has a lot of pressure here in the corner, and the little stutter step making Jordan think he can press the button, but not quite. Again getting hit there on the meaty pressure. Air dash back. Here comes the throw, and I don't think you can kill off this, but this should be a decent chunk of damage.
So close, but still chance for Jordan.
I think one of the biggest boons for Bonch in this matchup with his Narukami is the fact that he has that access to that Zeo, and you can see it, you know, kind of making a wall that's really hard for Jordan to get in on when he's in this closer range. Once you get further, it becomes a lot more difficult to use Zeo like that because of the threat of 2D, but when you're close, being able to do air dash back into Zeo is just essentially, like I said, a wall for a little bit that you can't really pass as easily.
Yeah, your only really option there is to kind of read the airbag Zeo, and like kind of super jump JC over it. But sometimes like you're just not in the right spacings for it. Another thing you can try to do is like if you're already in the air, it's actually pretty easy to like kind of read when they're about to do it, and then like J2D, which will like hit them.
Yeah.
Great.
Bonch! Old burst round start. I mean, I think he might have been expecting maybe more pressure from Jordan. This just winds up being extremely advantageous because he got the gold burst to actually connect. So now you have a bunch of meter to just kind of do whatever you want with, and because of this, you can also use this for defense. So if something ever happens where you just are like, I don't want to be in this situation anymore, guard cancel attack has just been funded for you. You just got a government subsidy for your meter.
Yeah, he's really taking advantage of that right here to do the Zeo9 OMC to get in. And he doesn't have any meter right now, but he doesn't really need it because he's Narukami. Just right outside of Awakening though, let's see if Bonch might be able to do something to kind of put himself in Awakening, or maybe Jordan will do it for him because this DP in the Heat Riser is about to be a good chunk of damage. Into another one. What is he doing?
He was trying to get a combo to work to get into Awakening so he could get the Mandala up, but it didn't quite work, and he eats the safe jump. Oh, I know exactly what he's trying to do there, and it didn't quite work out, unfortunately. Trying to one more burst to bait burst with a little bit of a delay there from Jordan to actually catch the one more burst bait attempt. I like that.
What's interesting too is that I don't even think the one more burst would have worked. I think Jordan was a little bit too far for like the hitbox of the burst to even catch.
Yeah, I don't think it was gonna hit Jordan. I think it was literally just there's a hard call out the fact that the burst hitbox is a little bit bigger than was still within distance, so that he could dodge the one more burst and try and punish, or the burst from Jordan and try and punish it. But it doesn't really matter because Bonch is absolutely mauling Jordan in the corner right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about in this matchup. Sometimes, like, one of either Adachi or Narukami, like, kind of gets an advantage, and you're in the corner, and you're getting hit by, like, 214A or maybe Dola or something like that, and you're just dying. Now it might be, well, I was gonna say it might be Jordan's turn, but Bonch kind of turned that around pretty quickly. Playing some
Raging
neutral,
Lion.
and that's what I was talking about with that J2D. You can catch that Zeo.
Yes.
Megidola here.
Looking a little spooky for Bonch now, has to block this out, but tries to mash to A and gets jumped over. That should be
This part is burst safe. You can't burst that. You can't burst. He messes the punish.
Oh, that's tech! Oh god, wait, this is not...
This is still so doable.
This is somewhat doable. It's really scary because Bonch only needs to get hit once, but this is getting really scary. Now we're in the corner, and the throw beat
he
is
baits the
massive.
grab.
If he baits the burst here, it is absolutely over.
It's literally one touch on both sides. Oh, what the...
AOA, one more cancel DP.
What a cheeser! Oh my god, this is the great equalizer that all Adachi players have. When it comes down to those like weird situations with like AOA, DP, all this weird clash stuff, we just kind of know what to do sometimes, and it's just like, yeah, it's like Bonch is saying right there in the chat. What the? Somehow Jordan was ready for it.
Sometimes, like I've obviously, you know, you learn to just call those persona moments, but that was more like an Adachi moment because I can't think of a single other character that I would see that happen with.
Yeah, that is a certified Adachi moment. We're getting into Game 5 of Losers Finals. This is really going down to the wire. Like we were saying, like these players are definitely about as evenly matched as their characters here. Let's see who gets to meet Karma in Grand Finals right here.
I think you can definitely see though that Bonch has done some adaptations to his game plan, and I think that is extremely important when you're going for these runbacks, obviously. But just the level of adaptation is really nice, and you can see that he's kind of more warmed up versus this character just in general. Maybe hasn't had as much opportunity to fight Adachi as maybe you'd want to, but getting warmed up again now and doing a lot of nice options.
You can see Jordan too, like he's blocking a lot more of Bonch's pressure, so he's just having more opportunities in general to get his offense started. And that J2D, it's plus. Not really sure how plus it is in that specific situation, but if you block it on the ground and get both on the ground, it's at least plus 22, so definitely don't try to get hits there. Going a little bit for a cheeky reset here, doesn't quite get it, doesn't matter. You died.
He didn't spend his burst there, and I understand wanting to seal up the round, but now you're down a burst, and Bonch definitely can kill you off of like a couple hits. And so we're already in the corner. Bonch taking it to Jordan after seeing that use of the burst. Nice attack. And now we're gonna go to the other corner. Just Zeo car all the way over. We're taking the limo.
Right, another 2C. He's starting to read Bonch's jump habits, and that's a little bit unfortunate for Bonch, able to get another 2C reset there. Kind of on accident, but we'll take it.
This is looking a little scary now for Bonch. This is one of those moments where you need to clutch up. Oh, nice jump.
And he's right outside of Awakening too, but Adachi, it's kind of hard to get it confirmed there, but the writing was already on the wall.
Yeah, that was
3-2
like...
Jordan.
You definitely have those moments as a commentator where you're like, this feels doable, but that was one of those moments where it just didn't feel doable.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was such an uphill battle, and if it would have happened, it would have been one of the craziest things I've seen today, but it just didn't seem like it was meant to be. But this does seem like it was meant to be. The fated rematch of Karma and Jordan. This seems like it happens every tournament. I swear.
I mean, yeah, I'd say so.
I'm pretty sure the last tournament I commentated, it was also this grand finals, if I am remembering correctly, which is hilarious because they play each other so often, and it's always so close. It feels.
Yeah, it just speaks to kind of like the consistency of both of these players.
Yeah.
What many would consider like the best like North American Adachi, and Karma probably, I'm not too sure, I'm not too familiar with Naoto's like meta at the moment, but I'd say from what I'm seeing, one of the best Naotos as well.
Oh yeah.
So just the clash of like two kind of titans of these characters, kind of inevitable at this point. But I mean, I still don't want to take away from like Bonch getting to the losers finals.
Oh yeah.
Third place, amazing run from Bonch. He did really well. And it was like you were saying earlier, only a couple of things needed to go different with that match to kind of end up differently. But here we are. If we can see it, Grand Finals, Karma versus Jordan in losers.
I did do a quick check, and yes, I did commentate the monthly last month, and this was the exact same grand finals that happened last month in the exact same way. It was Jordan on the loser's side and Karma on the winner's side. So this is a run back of a completely different tournament at this point, and Karma already getting the better of the matchup so far. Half of HP now down onto Jordan.
Oh no, it's what we were talking about earlier with the burst. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, the shadow went into frenzy and you're able to burst, but it doesn't matter because you can just block that. Yeah, and the thing that's kind of rough in like this matchup in general is just that Adachi has to wait his turn a lot in neutral in order to get in. There are definitely spots where he can get in, but then he has to be super cautious of like Naoto's DP, rolling, a lot of like these defensive options that Naoto still has access to, that can get her back into this full screen sort of like this full screen sort of situation. So it's kind of rough. And then if you try to use like your persona cards, you see Adachi, he only has a persona card left.
Yeah,
you're
getting sniped.
Yeah, you can't really use it right now to kind of get in.
I think one of the scariest things is if you try and swing a persona button at the wrong time and wind up getting hit by the like back end of a trap, you also just lose a card. But you have to make sure that you're being preemptive with it. But this is actually a pretty good opportunity here for Jordan. Has a negative penalty now on Karma, and this is a decent chunk of damage.
Yeah, that did a lot for a very simple combo.
He's on now.
Pretty close here in life totals. Actually, probably a little bit more on Adachi's side because of the awakening.
Yeah. Very careful. Oh, that's tragic.
No, and there's the persona break into the confirm.
That was a great pickup from Karma to seal that one out. First game over to Karma. That was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Looking a little spooky.
It's very spooky because if you're not careful, even against regular Naoto, as Adachi, if you're not careful, if you're running into these traps and you're basically letting, like, because when you run into the traps too, even if you block them, you're basically letting Naoto win that neutral interaction for free. So you have to be turbo careful to pick your spots just against Naoto so that you can get in on her and stay in on her too, because Karma, as you see, even when Jordan did get in, Karma would do a lot of like rolling, a bit of DP here and there, just jumping out of Adachi's pressure. So Jordan needs to be a bit more cautious of that going into this game too.
And there's one more thing that I don't really think we've seen so much of yet in this set, but we have seen before. Like, you also have to be careful of SB roll. Like, when you start getting the SB roll, that is a huge threat that can completely turn a situation off on its head. Oh,
and the high-low. Oh, I think Jordan tried to fuzzy block that, but it didn't work out.
What's funny is Jordan has blocked that mix-up so many times to the point where sometimes Karma just won't even go for it. But that is the one time so far that I can remember that I've seen Karma go for it and it hit.
Yeah, it's very rough. And Karma doing something interesting that you can do when Adachi goes for double gunshot. You can hop the second gunshot. Really good recognition from Karma. Gets him out of that situation and into this one, where again, Zero Fate Adachi versus full stick of health Karma. What do you do?
Like, Karma doesn't care about getting hit here, like, at all, because the meter situation is getting better.
Oh, well, he might care then. He might have cared then, but he doesn't care now.
Okay, has to guard cancel, cannot afford to take that mix-up.
Oh, that JB, if he had been able to confirm from that would have been really good. But this will also be really good, because he's able to get that bounce in the corner. So much damage.
Ouch, ouch. Shadow Frenzy? Oh no,
he doesn't block the Zeo again.
He just ate it. That's unfortunate. I mean, you kind of have a round to play with. But interesting that there was not even, like, it didn't even seem like an attempt to block. Granted, it was pretty obscured, but, like, I didn't see Adachi go for a single move.
Yeah, he was just kind of jumping.
Oh, that is
getting hit by Naoto's JD. It's so rough because JD its hitbox only activates when Nagatsu's knob is actually on it. Oh, the
great
burst bait.
Jordan, yeah. Jordan, I would say, is the person I've seen bait the most bursts. One of my favorite like moments that I've ever seen when I was commentating was the first time I watched him do one more burst to bait someone's burst. I popped off so hard. I have seen him bait so many bursts, so it does not surprise me that he was ready for that one at all.
Well, he might just be the goat of baiting bursts, and that gets him on the board here versus Karma. Only 2 more games Jordan has to win to at least reset the bracket, so it's definitely doable on Jordan's side. But on Karma's side, we can see that the game plan is still working out pretty well, I'd say, versus Jordan. He just kind of needed to clean up a little bit when it came to like getting some like combos going and just keeping Adachi out more. But Jordan is adapting here, and he gets the first hit too, so that's really important versus shadow characters, getting that first hit meter bonus.
Nice. Just kind of spacing them out. I like the delay on the gunshots there from Karma, actually. Just expecting a roll of some sort. Nice tech again. Karma trying to play this neutral game a little bit more patiently. He's taking a lot of damage, and this is not where you really want to be taking this much damage because you have you're not even close to LeDom right now.
Yeah. So that will definitely put you there. Yeah,
we're there now. So now the damage is pretty much at this point. Yeah.
It's one touch.
Oh, okay. So Jordan has to burst there. That was definitely gonna be death. Now this is death anyway. Goodbye. Karma just not wanting to take any chances is just like, I'm gonna Shadow Frenzy and take this round. I was ahead in life, but I don't even want to give you an opportunity to come back during Awakening. It's not even worth it.
See here, no burst on either side, but a round up for Karma, so not the greatest for Jordan right now, and yeah, he really does have to be careful about using these Persona moves because he's already at 1 card, but this combo is about to do a lot of damage and about to set up Fear. So.
Okay, Fear is here, roll out, doesn't want to even deal with it. Nice cancel on the gun stance there.
He did a really good job of just waiting out the Fear, just didn't get hit.
Whoa.
Great fuzzy grab, I assume, from Jordan.
Yeah, that OS was absolutely nuts. There's no way. I don't know how Jordan was going to be ready for that any other way. That had to have been an OS because that movement from Karma was a little weird and got sniped right away. Fatal counter 5D. Does not get too much off that, unfortunately, and now Jordan is in Awakening. This is definitely a doable situation. Any snipe really gets a whole bunch of damage. Okay, down to 0 though, and now this is really scary.
Just 1 touch. And there's the touch. That's the touch. You're dead. Oh no, not quite. Oh, okay. Oh no, but he didn't have so many things just happened there at once. That's actually insane. So basically, he ran out of Persona cards right as the super.
Oh no! What in the world? That was burst to like. Wow.
The burst took away his
so much
Persona card.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Goes for the combo, burst takes away the last Persona card, and then he just doesn't have burst. He's locked out completely from being able to do anything there at the end. That was an absolute scramble of an ending situation. That kind of shows you what this game really is about sometimes. It's like, who's more composed in the scramble situation? And in that case, it seemed to be Karma. Had the wherewithal to burst to get rid of that last card.
And the Dachi he will get put in a lot of those scramble situations, just like as a part of the matchup, because he needs to do so much just to get in. So once he does get in and those situations just pop up, like, if he's not ready for it, it's kind of game over.
Thumbs up to
I
get
love that
wants to get rid of one of those traps. That gunshot up doesn't quite connect because of the weird angle. Gets rid of that other trap and was in a good spot, but got staggered out. Has to burst. Now in Awakening with 1 card left. Has to be extremely careful with how he uses his Persona moves. Otherwise, you could very, very easily find yourself in a situation with no opportunity to come back. Magatsu Mandala is now up. The buff is up, and we should see some of those status effects coming into use here soon, possibly.
Speaking of coming back, this is the oh god, Persona Hypnosis moment.
That was crazy. And here comes the confirm, small confirm. That was enough though.
Yeah, Barre.
Yeah.
Interesting. I kind of like that from Karma.
Karma not really wanting to have to respect those options, and I totally understand.
Yeah, I think Karma's like his game plan seems to be pretty revolved around not letting Jordan really do much Oki to him. Speaking of Oki, in the corner.
Oh, chases him down with the JA. Back into the corner. This is looking scary. This is definitely a losable situation. Yeah.
And this is
mix up.
oh,
not quite.
No! Lost in the tournament!
That is so tragic. That is such a sad way to lose
The gap because the Hama is a fixed distance, so the gap between that and Jordan was too big for Jordan to be caught in the Hama. So Jordan got confused, and the Burger King hat slides over to Karma. No. Stolen
I think
away
that might have been
Jordan.
I just saw it back on the stream. I don't know if that was a fat finger or what, but he pressed 2A. Like, I feel like there's no way he meant to do that. Like, that has to have been a mistake. I don't know. That was such an unfortunate way to lose, but...
That has to be the most tragic way to lose a set that I've seen in a minute. That's so sad.
I mean, Karma played super well, regardless of the little bit of a mistake there at the end. Karma will be your PFC bi-monthly number 15 champion. And
congratulations.
Yeah, unfortunately it goes down very, very similar to how it went down last month, because it was the same scoreline too. 3-1 for Karma. Jordan definitely gonna be out for revenge at some point. Wants to get that win for sure. I can feel it.
I can definitely see it happening sooner than later, because he was still doing a lot to keep that set as close as he could. I just think that, like, when it came down to it, Karma's like ability to set up traps and get like a hit into Shadowverse, into just literally anything to get his fate down, just really just did so much for Karma in getting Jordan into that kind of range where if the fate counter didn't kill him, the damage from Naoto's attacks would kill him. So
yeah,
that really helped him out.
So I think that's gonna be about it for us. We are gonna quickly remind you of the match arena that is there. I don't know if there are any more codes, but if there are, just go and claim one real quick if you haven't done that already. You can find me, my name is Lamb, on Twitter at LambFGC, and
you can find me, Xeno or Xenozades, on Twitter at Xenozades. Kind of covered by the Burger King hat, but it's fine.
Yep. If you are not already in the PFC Discord, you can go ahead and join the PFC Discord. Do we have an exclamation point Discord command? I think we do. No, we don't. You can join the PFC Discord. What is the permalink for this? Yes, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, it was. Thank you. And then also, of course, we are bi-monthly now. So in a couple weeks, we will be out again for the Persona bi-monthly number 16, which I believe is happening on the 27th, if I'm correct. So 3 weeks from now, there will be another bi-monthly. Go ahead, go to that Start GG page that was just posted in the chat. Sign up if you are interested. But once again, my name is Lamb.
And I'm Xeno.
And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful night. We will see you in a couple weeks.
See you later.